Awesome job, dude. Awesome job. Let's go, Bulls. Let's go. Oh, my God. We are the champions. Yes. Lakers sorry, boys. Yes.
Goodness gracious, I never get tired of watching that intro. MDK completely outdid himself. But how's everybody doing tonight? Happy Wednesday. I am Eric, your host this week of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast, a part of the Out of the Groove Podcast Network, joined as always by our usual panel. We've got to my left, I guess stage left, we've got Darian Gilliam, aka Black Flags Matter. We've got the Iceberg, Jarrett Lundberg right here. Down to the side, Daniel Baldwin, Danny B Talks. It's always weird when I use your full name, Danny.
Daniel Baldwin.
I think it's because it's my work computer, so it comes in as my work name.
Very formal, very professional. Also joining us this week, an up-and-coming YouTube personality. We're joined by Tyler Stooksbury. You may also know him as Titan Looseoff on YouTube. How's it going, man? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's super cool.
Yeah, we're going to be talking all things Martinsville. We'll be talking Xfinity. We'll be talking the Cup Series. A lot of conflict, a lot of different storylines to get through tonight. We'll be talking about all sorts of news from the past week. And stay tuned because at the end of the show, as is per usual, we will be giving y'all our picks, a variety of picks for all the action at Richmond this weekend. But to kick things off, folks, let's talk Martinsville. We'll go in reverse chronological order. So the Xfinity race was first. Well, technically they started the Xfinity race, then paused it. Then they started the Cup race and paused it. And then they got the finish of the Xfinity race and then the finish of the Cup. So it was kind of a weird schedule this weekend. We're going to keep with it. We'll begin with the NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville. Martin Truex Jr. becomes the first multiple-time winner of the season. Win number 2, his third in the last 4 Martinsville races. Darian, what'd you think of Martin Truex Jr.'s performance? He didn't have the dominant car, it seems like, but he was there at the end when it counted most.
Well, first off, didn't he have a problem winning on short tracks not too long ago? And now all of a sudden, that's all he wins on nowadays. So, damn, longevity, that's something. But, Denny Hamlin, man, it's just, once again, another case of not coming in clutch when it counts the most, unfortunately. I know they were, showing each other a lot of respect out there, but at the same time, I mean, I know it's a long season, they're teammates and stuff. I would have liked to see Hamlin be a little bit more aggressive with it, but I mean, Truex's car was just too strong towards the end there. It came on at the right time within those final laps and got out to nearly a 3-second lead there. Then Chase Elliott got second, correct? He got second.
Yeah, Chase second, and Hamlin fell to third.
And Chase Elliott, his car lit up when it counted, and he wasn't really running up front like that all day, though. But one interesting story, though, that I don't think has been talked about enough. This guy in particular stole the show, and not in a good way. Cody Ware was dumping his own his dad's cars that his dad's the owner, and him and James Davison were getting in this conflict, and apparently there was like quotes being said on the radio, which I don't think they were officially confirmed yet, but one was saying James Davison had said, "Your son's gone mental, blah, blah, blah," and all that stuff. And then Cody's like, "Oh, I'm dumping him. And then his dad had said, "Oh, okay, that's it. You need to cut this out, right now," and all that stuff. So, and then even Mike Joy was like, "Oh, it's Cody Ware again." So I don't know, man.
That was really funny.
Yeah, it was funny, but I mean, it's really concerning too. It's like, this team is it's always something going on with these guys, man. Always. Hey, but
they got 4 full-time slots in the Cup Series, so there's percentage-wise, there's always a good chance one of them's going to find some trouble out there.
I got some mixed feelings on that. But yeah, the whole point is this race overall was awesome. We had a 15-car pileup, and then Suarez's car burst into flames and stuff, and then throwing stuff at Byron. I got to say, this Martinsville race in particular, I put it in my personal top 5, to be honest. I really thoroughly enjoyed this race.
I saw in the Jeff Gluck poll, I believe it got the second most positive score of the season behind, can you believe it, Las Vegas of all races, of all tracks.
Las Vegas is still the most
people,
popular.
I get maybe people like mile and a halfs more than they've been letting on.
No, they like certain mile and a halfs, and Vegas is one of those.
They love all the gambling references at Vegas. That does it for them. Well, Tyler, Darian mentioned that big pileup. Did you expect to see a 15-car pileup at Martinsville, and how the whole wreck even got started? I mean, what did you make of that whole deal? Did Kyle Busch and Chris Buescher take things out on each other too heavily on the racetrack, or do you think it was just unfortunate?
Well, I mean, you got to remember, it's like Martinsville. It's not a very wide racetrack in particular and stuff. You got one, maybe two grooves that can really come in. You just really, there's not a lot of room to move around there. So, Kyle Busch, it's a racing incident. Everything, most of what happens at Martinsville, just because of the nature of short track racing, you can just kind of chalk it up to that pretty much in my mind.
Yeah, Kyle Busch being aggressive with how he kind of dive bombed the corner, but then afterwards he and Buescher, they make, I don't know if, it seemed like people at first thought Buescher might have turned down on him on purpose because he was angry, which I get. I understood why you'd be angry. Maybe not the smartest way to take it out right there. But other people point out that he was kind of higher up in the track. Maybe he just got loose. Either way, it wrecked a lot of cars. We saw Daniel Suarez throwing a water bottle at William Byron. You're biting your tongue, Darian. What's going on?
Well, I had to make the question: why is Kyle Busch back there in the first place? What's going on? What's going on with him this year so far?
Hey, didn't he have damage before the incident? Because it was
he cut a tire. Yeah, he cut a tire and stuff.
He had a little bit of issues.
Yeah, just the overall performance to start 2021.
It wasn't all there in 2020 either.
I figured we'd see more, but it's basically the same.
Jarrett, you love short tracks. What did you think of Martinsville?
Well, I think I've made it pretty well known that Martinsville is my favorite track. So I've from default, I loved it. Even last year when everyone was complaining, I think about the spring race not being that good or about the 2019 races not being that good. I was like, it's better than most. I enjoyed it for the fact that you really saw just about everything that everyone says they want in a short track race or in racing in general in NASCAR. You saw a lot of comers and goers. Denny Hamlin in the post race pressers was saying that the stat sheet will make it look like we dominated, but we had short runs that made it inflated the number of laps led. And he was saying how, for instance, Blaney, Truex, Elliott, were generally better cars, and you got to see that as you had Denver's long runs. So I enjoyed that. As for the giant pile up,
that was great.
I'll admit I saw that and I started laughing because it's like you really only see that once every
only in NR 2003 you can see something like that. Really, usually.
It reminded me when I crashed the field in Thunder 04.
That's going backwards.
That's actually 2 weeks in a row we had a big pile up like that because technically at Bristol there was a big pile up too.
But I just, again, I did a video on it this week. I said it over and over again on Twitter. That race right there for the racing product we saw proves, why we need more short tracks, because I would love if we had at least one short track race a month, so we could have races like this more often, more drivers getting pissed at each other. Because everyone is freaking out over, a water bottle throw. And I'm like, that's cool and that was funny and all, but it's a water bottle throw. Like it's not really.
I like that he was.
We saw fighting.
He was trying to dart it through the window net as well. It looked like he was aiming at trying to get it, hit Byron in the face if he could. He was like,
I'll give him that one. He was channeling his inner Ward Burton on that one, so I'll give him that one.
Yeah,
exactly.
But we did see a fight, but I feel like if we had more races like this or chances to have races like this through the year, we would have more escalation through the year of drivers, going after each other. So I think that, that's really, to me, what this race shows is like, this is why NASCAR needs to fight for the fairgrounds. This is why if, God willing, they can make it happen. The two Marcuses can bring back something like North Wilkesboro or bring back the Rock or something like that, just to have more of this kind of racing over time. This is why they're, a big part of why they're changing Auto Club to a short track, because of good racing like this, good storylines that are generated, and just basically giving us all something to talk about and entertaining the fans. So I loved it. If that wasn't clear enough before saying it, I really.
You love short track racing? What?
Oh, I like that short track racing.
What?
that was beautiful.
Good luck trying to get the fairgrounds. A lot of Karens.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
We got fairgrounds news later. Danny,
Karens. Why has Karen got to ruin everything?
Danny, we haven't heard much from you yet, but Blaney actually dominated this race. I believe he won both stage 1 and stage 2. It was a pit road issue. Ran over the pit gun, yanked the gun out of the box. That sent him to the rear. He drove back to finish, I think, like 11th.
He can't catch a break, though. He can't.
Wasn't a good finish at all.
Were you surprised at all to see Blaney run so? Because at the end of the day, once we got to the end, it was Hamlin and Truex. Like those guys, we know they're great short track racers. But were you surprised at all to see Blaney run so well?
I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, looking at Penske's performance there the last few years with Logano and Keselowski, they've always had pretty good cars there. Just in the end, it's not always going to finish that strong, I guess.
I mean, Blaney, it's always something, man. And what sucks is we're in this era where, winning is all that matters. You know what I'm saying? So like guys like Blaney who run consistently up front week in and week out, who have hard luck, are totally underappreciated. We have people on Twitter saying that Blaney shouldn't even be in the 12. What?
I thought for a moment there, Ryan Blaney, one win a season Blaney. He's won one
five
race a
straight,
year.
5 wins. Yeah, 5 seasons, 5 wins.
I did not expect him to be the guy knocking on the door, being our first multiple time winner this season, and lo and behold, fate caught up with him. We knew that little comeback win at Atlanta a few weeks ago, that was so out of character for Blaney. We knew somehow karma would catch up in some respect, but yeah,
his time will come. They've
shown consistently good speed to start this year, so very excited. He's earning that extension he signed last year with Penske, at least for the time being. Just a heads up for everyone in the chat, we will cover we will get to your super chats at the top of the hour, so I appreciate the support. We will be chiming in on those soon. Really quick, Jarrett, do you know the playoff picture? Because now Truex with 2 wins, I believe I guess Hamlin maybe still leads the overall standings, but playoff points, it's between him and Truex, right?
And also, sorry, Danny, poor Alex Bowman and his hard luck this weekend too. I'm sorry. So
that guy cannot catch a break this season. They've been running good. They ran good at Bristol until they lost 4th gear. They was in 2nd again this week, but
was it a loose wheel this week?
It was a loose wheel, wasn't it?
It was a loose wheel, had to pit, and they were like 4th or 5th, and they started falling. He started falling back. He was in like 8th, and then he had to pit out of 8th, and then got caught up. He got caught up 3 laps down. A caution come out. Might have even been for Cody Ware again. I don't know.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, I wanted to say something about that Cody Ware thing, and I had to go back and double check this because I thought my mind drew a blank and I was making this up, but I went back and found out this wasn't just like a couple years ago. Last year. This was posted June of 2020 from Toby Christie. Cody Ware announced on Twitter then that he will no longer ever continue his career with Rick Ware Racing. That's just last year. Last year he said this.
What is going on there?
Because this come from his Twitter. He said I've been asked what my plans for the 2020 season are, and I guess this is still like in the beginning of the year. And he said, in a Reddit post where an employee of Rick Ware Racing has been ignoring questions about my plans has sparked some questions. And he said, I wish RWR the best, but I will not be racing with them moving forward in my career. There we are.
Well, that thing that Rick Ware Racing's been doing for him is bending over backwards for him.
I don't know. He's just his whole where is he going? It's just bent over.
This has shit show written all over it, basically.
Yeah.
well, back to the
I know that's really irrelevant in the end, but I just had to
back to the playoff standings,
which is about as far from Cody Ware as we
Is Cody Ware in the top 16? Is he in the top 16?
Oh,
no.
No, I mean, on my Winston Cup standings, I do, which, by the way, mean absolutely nothing. So people need to stop taking it so damn serious. He is ahead of Corey LaJoie now.
LaJoie got jinxed by me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, LaJoie had his best run of the year going. Was up to like 10th, I think, at one point.
Dude, 1 minute after tweeting, he's going to get a top 10. Boom. Race is over.
See, when I tweet things, I'm just like, oh, hey, look at so-and-so doing so good. I don't tell people, oh, he's going to finish 3rd. Oh, this is big. Like,
that was the quickest tweet in NASCAR Twitter history to age poorly so fast. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. I was like, damn, poor guy.
But as for the playoffs, Truex getting that 2nd win, I have to think a lot of people have to breathe a sigh of relief knowing that we're finally getting a bit back to normal when it comes to drivers that win actually consistently winning.
This is a guy who only got 1 win last year too.
Yeah. That's 2. Let's go.
So, I mean, we got Truex, Logano, Larson, Blaney, Byron, Bell, and McDowell with the wins.
McDowell.
He's doing good.
What is he in, like, traditional points?
I'm not sure.
Look it up. You can keep rolling off. I'm looking it
up. So then when it comes to those above the cut line, the guys with a pretty good gap, Denny Hamlin plus 194. It's safe to say, think
Is he the
he'll
points?
be-
I think he's the points leader, right?
He's
He
the
has to
points
be.
leader. He is. He's the
7
points leader.
top 5s in 8 races or something. That's
Mhm.
freaking
I mean,
crazy.
He would have to finish 11 points below consistently every single race the rest of the year behind Alex Bowman to fall out of the playoffs at this point.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Bowman, Danny. I don't think Denny's going to do that. Chase Elliott's
I think so later.
Chase Elliott's plus 75, Kevin Harvick plus 68, Brad Keselowski plus 59. Then you got the drivers that are actually on the cutoff line, and it's realistic they could fall out in the next race or two. Not that it matters at the moment, but these are, I think, are the ones that, if there are more surprise winners, need to be sweating a little bit. Kyle Busch is only plus 27, Austin Dillon plus 24. Surprisingly, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Chris Buescher are in there. Stenhouse plus 17, Buescher plus 7, and then 16th, the final spot at the moment, Kurt Busch plus 5. And then the 4 that it has on here below the cut line, Alex Bowman minus 5, Ryan Newman minus 23, Bubba Wallace minus 33, and Ryan Preece minus 35.
How about Bubba Wallace leading some laps straight up? That was good. That was good to see him run up front. Just
Yeah.
can't get the finishes, unfortunately. Still can't finish a race yet.
Can't they've like their 3rd or 4th, 16th place finish of this season?
Yeah, I mean, still mid-pack, but I mean,
They're
Did
getting
anyone-
there. They're showing
Yeah, they're getting
speed.
there.
They just gotta they gotta finish races.
yeah.
Did anyone verify
McDowell's
The
16th in the
stat-
traditional points, in case anyone wanted to know.
nice.
not
Did anyone verify at all that stat that someone
I
that
think that was true. And you talk about the JTG thing.
Yeah.
yes.
So with what that means, even if it was like the 47 or the 37 finishing higher, at least one of the JTG cars, I think, has finished above the 23 in every race this season.
Yeah. Was it
Yeah.
NASCAR man who tweeted that? Who tweeted? I can't remember who it was who tweeted it.
It might have been NASCAR man because he's big on the stats. Because I
Yeah.
think, was it Stenhouse or was it Preece who finished pretty good at Daytona? I think it was Preece.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but I just thought it was interesting that he quoted it as the NBA battle. Brad Doherty's teams have beaten Michael Jordan's team so far in every race this season.
He's gotten the revenge because
so-
the Bulls and the Cavaliers used to play each other, Jordan and Doherty, and Jordan got the best of them.
Jordan is back to being that wide-eyed rookie. This is new territory for him. He has not been in this position in a while.
Now
but-
Brad Doherty's like, you're in my world now.
Hey, if you ask me which team is going to win first, though, I think we all know Doherty's sweating a little bit there. I think he'll go to Jordan
Yeah.
eventually.
Well, technically, Doherty's already got a win, so Michael's got to get 2 to catch up to him.
That's true. That's true.
That's right. That's right.
But I want
Make
to
up
ask you
some
guys,
lost time.
like Tyler, for instance, do you have any? Is there anyone that's in the top 16 or out right now that you think are just surprising, going to jump up or down? Like,
You know, with all the trouble Stuart Haas Racing's had this year, I'm a little I'm surprised like Kevin Harvick's still like an 8th in the points. Like he's still like at least scraping by as well as he can, you know. I don't know if that's surprising that he's up there, but you know, it's just there's a lot of with all the unique winners that we've had this early in the season, it's just going to be it's just going to make those cutoff races and the races coming down once right before the playoffs start. Just it's going to make them a little bit more stressful for a lot more drivers. So, you know, it'll be interesting for sure.
Stuart Haas, though, man, they're in a hole, and
A world
I don't
of
know.
hurt.
Dude, not just in Cup, in Xfinity as well. I mean, even Riley Herbst was struggling a little bit too. It's what is going on over there this year?
Speaking,
I know it. I
go
say it
ahead.
every week, but I can't help but laugh every time they're like, "This is the same car that Chase Briscoe last year won 8 races with,"
Dude,
and I'm like,
they always
throw him
mention
under
it.
the bus,
They
man.
mention it too. They're like, they always make sure to put that stat in
they
there.
really this week on a restart. They're like, look at Ryan Preece in 3rd. Let's follow him on the restart. 1 lap, he was in 8th on equal tires. It was just like I think he even had the bottom on the 3rd lane. I don't know. And it's just every week in, week out. But we all know Stuart Haas Racing is in trouble now and for the foreseeable future. They got to turn things around quick. You mentioned the Xfinity Series, guys. We'll talk about that in a minute. But before we do that, let's wrap things up with the Cup Series race. Jarrett, do you have the famous iceberg poll? Or do we want to do that?
poll!
Or do we
The
want to
poll!
talk ratings first? We'll do poll first. Let's hear what the fans say. We don't care about what TV says. We
Yeah,
care about what our
TV
fans
ratings.
thought of the Blue Emu
The
500.
Martinsville, yeah, whatever
I
it's
got it.
called.
I got you.
I try to
gotcha.
give the sponsors their shout out. I mean, they pay good money for those title sponsorships.
All right.
I try
so
to reward them.
It's always going to be the Subway 500 to me, but go ahead.
I got you all right here. I asked, what did you think of the 2021 Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500?
You got the full name.
Yes, the
Yeah,
full
the full name of there.
I can't wait to. I just can't wait to put down. What did you think of the Bushy McBush race 400?
Oh, I didn't even think
Cannot
about that. Yeah.
Cannot wait.
What is that,
I-
Kansas or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kansas.
And just to remind you all, that will be on Kyle Bush's birthday. So
Very random. Well, I guess, yeah. All right.
anyway, so 12.7 thousand of you voted, which is the 5th most voted one so far, both this year and all time. So we did not break any records this week. 42% of you thought this was a great race. 39% said it was a good race. 13% said average. 3% said below average, and 3% of you thought that this was a bad race. My condolences for you, because I don't know what the hell
You don't know what good racing is.
Those are the Rick Ware Racing fans.
Denny
Yeah.
Delivers has the top comment. I am not surprised whatsoever.
Y'all gotta stop liking the same people's comments.
Dude, they got a little group thing going now. Like the comments, so I can be at the show.
So no one, absolutely no one. Martinsville backstretch, and how do you pronounce it again? It's like Suez Canal or
Suez
whatever.
Canal?
Suez Canal.
I think that's how you
Canal.
pronounce it.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I get it.
48
Suarez Canal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He
like
was
that one.
involved. Hey, he was the one on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
48 Nation says that was a classic Martinsville race. Best race of the season, in my opinion. That was incredible. Nice Cal Petty reference. To watch Truex and Hamlin battle side by side for like 10 laps.
Hey,
That did have Gordon Johnson 07 vibes for a little bit.
Yeah. And I liked
thought
how
the
it was
same thing.
It was clean too. It was clean, no bumping either.
that's
Dude,
what I was
Truex,
going to say. Martin Truex Jr., he has easily earned
Oh,
the title of
he's
the
a saint.
cleanest driver in NASCAR currently.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say of all time, but currently. I feel like the art of clean driving has kind of been lost in the last 10 years. Martin
Mm-hmm.
Truex Jr., he is stubborn as it gets. He is upholding that tradition to the
Yeah.
extreme.
making Mark Martin
But
proud.
yeah, all I ever
Yeah.
hear people say about him is that he just complains that people race him hard.
Yeah.
That's actually
He
a
won.
reason. I mean, a lot of people in here that voted below average or bad voted that way simply because Martin Truex Jr. was the winner.
He does whine too much though. Like, let's admit that though. He does whine a little
Well,
too
he
much.
expects everyone else to uphold his same sacred
No,
racing.
you're crazy.
Yeah, I know.
It's a new era.
Southeast Cup Series put here that Mike Joy lightly roasting Cody Ware was golden.
That was lightly? That seemed like it was like direct. Like, damn.
It almost sounded like he was mad when
Yeah.
it was Cody, when he's the one that
He's
spun
like-
James Davison.
Like, and caution is out. Cody Ware.
Oh, it's Cody Ware.
Oh,
You know what
Cody
it
Ware.
kind of reminded me of was 2016, I want to say it was, at Talladega. Matt Kenseth nearly flips into the infield, and Darrell Waltrip's like, Matt Kenseth. Like,
Like, how's it his fault?
he can
Oh, Matt,
control it.
kids, come on! Now, why'd you have to go and do that?
Oh my god.
I'm sitting there, if it's anyone's
What?
fault, it's Danica's, but okay. It's no one's fault here. But Caleb will know. He put one on here, said the person holding the Boo Logano sign is an absolute shad.
Yeah, that was awesome.
They gave that kid a lot of screen time too. They like held that shot for several seconds, like to get the point across.
Yeah.
I did not think that me taking a picture of a kid holding a Boo Logano sign would be the most just
Yeah, the most viral
liked
thing.
and retweeted tweet I have ever put on Twitter.
Oh wait, that for like an all-time? That's an all-time thing?
Yeah, and because I had like 1,200 likes and like
Oh.
150 retweets, and the really cool thing, and I don't have his name up on my screen right now, but the kid's dad actually responded to the tweet and posted a picture, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just a fun thing. You don't see that very often anymore.
Yeah, there's
so it's
not as
fun when
much
you see it.
passion. Yeah. Like I feel like the era me and Jarrett got into NASCAR, that was more prevalent. You know, I mean, I grew up watching, Jeff Gordon getting pelted with beer cans and stuff, which is why I was not too fond of somebody throwing a beer at Truex when he was doing his burnout, and
Also,
even Truex gave him the finger as well. So,
as he should, because that was an awesome burnout, actually.
yeah, show him
it
some
was.
respect. Come
Hey,
on.
he was just trying to add to the smoke. He was like, "Oh, it'll fizz up and it'll look even cooler." He was just trying to add some water effects to the thing. Have any of
He's
you
a
guys,
Chase Elliott fan, probably.
have any of you guys ever brought a sign to a racetrack like that? Like even to
Yes.
like
No.
what did yours
I got
say,
you.
Jarrett?
I got you.
Oh no.
I don't know.
It's right there.
Well, we know this one, but
Hello, children, and everyone
chat
at home. We're gonna have a show and tell time with the iceberg. So
Oh, we're
back
going
in
on a tour.
2007, there was a Free the Eight campaign when Dale Jr. was going to be a free agent, leaving DEI, and it was headed by Ricky Rackman and Rutledge Wood on race day.
Rutledge.
Well, I made one.
Oh,
See it too well.
That is
'cause-
wide.
that's
Hold
a
on,
fat eight.
That's
A
fantastic.
fat eight.
There it is. Can you see it pretty well?
Yeah, I see it.
Very well done.
Free the Eight. Oh, and that's $1 I lost in a bet that year. So, yes, I brought a sign to a track, and I was very proud of it.
Ah, an artist. Well, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
Nobody else ever brought a sign to a track.
No,
I don't think I ever have. No.
No.
I haven't even brought a sign to a wrestling show. So
To be fair, I was 9 when I made that.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
My dad one time he brought we went to like it was my first race ever, and it was like 1998 Die Hard 500 or something. My dad brought the head off of a Jeff Gordon cardboard cutout
Oh, it's one of
and
those.
like waved it. You know, it was great.
I always wanted to get one of those like big blow up heads that are like giant, you know, that you see at like college basketball games or something. I want
Yeah.
one of those of like every driver, and I just want to be able to like shuffle through them during the week, like as they pass by. Have you guys noticed this? I want to ask you, Tyler, because I noticed this. Kevin Harvick fans are the most like active fans in the stands at races. They're always waving
Yeah.
things at Kevin Harvick and like standing up every time he goes by. Have you noticed the same thing? Because I think I'm going crazy.
Yeah,
No.
well, Kevin Harvick's the interesting thing. He has a bunch of like old Dale Senior fans, like because they got a little
Did they
bit
do
of
that for
that
Dale
split
too?
there.
Did Dale get like pointed at every time he went by the track? Did people wave?
Oh
his-
yeah,
I can
for
imagine.
sure. But it depends on who you're talking to too. You know, some people are just very you know. There's a lot of different opinions there.
A lot of passion. Jared, who is we haven't gotten to the last comment. Who is the last comment?
Not yet. There's a few more here that I want to highlight, at least one more. From Buy Not. So a newer person said, friendly reminder that Cody Ware just got the green light to race 220 plus miles per hour Indy cars in the Indy 500 next month.
Oh yeah.
This is true.
I forgot about that. Oh no.
You know, Davison like is running full time or not almost full time Cup instead of the Indy 500. I believe Cody Ware is
Yeah.
part of the reason why, perhaps. Although it sounds like the full time Cup gig is pretty sweet. I mean, let's be real.
That's gonna be.
I just love looking at the chat right now. Look at the chat.
Oh my god.
Rip.
I just hope that nothing happens, no crashes or anything like that, because I'd hate to see that Indy car get all bent in the metal or anything like that.
And like
Damn it, Danny,
we're
I'm
not
drinking.
and we're not like against him running it and stuff. Like it's just like it's very odd to me. You know what I mean? Like just he causes a nuisance in the Cup Series and stuff, and like Indy cars, these are much more dangerous, race cars and stuff. Open wheel going 220, 230, straight up at Indianapolis. Like, I don't know. We'll
Does he
see how
have
that
any
goes.
open wheel experience?
I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
He ran a
Not to my
Rolex.
knowledge.
That's not open wheel, but he did run the Rolex. Right?
Yeah.
Denny
Yeah.
Delivers in the chat said that he ran the Barber test, the one that Jimmy Johnson ran earlier this
Okay.
year.
He has a lot of
So-
road course experience. I know that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
road courses and oval and IndyCar. I mean, nah.
But like IndyCar and then like on an oval,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
extremely dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, So we'll see how that goes.
If I'm not mistaken, I could very well be. I've seen some of David Land's reporting on the tests, and if I'm not mistaken, Cody Ware is the only person, or Jimmy Johnson is the only person slower than Cody Ware in the test.
Poor Jimmy.
Poor Jimmy.
Oh,
Well,
Jimmy.
Yeah. So the user that has the last comment. So Tyler, what we do each week is we vote whether the last comment will be positive or negative, because It's actually a mixed bag sometimes.
Just based on who the name is.
So the profile is Eric Estep's twin brother.
Well, if I'm so positive, this guy is, if he's my like twin, he's got to be like the polar opposite. in
Yeah,
that case.
negative. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
saying I'm going with negative.
I'm gonna go negative.
He's a hater.
Excuse me, my cable bill is so overpriced just to see one rain-delayed Martinsville race. WTF? Why do the races have to be on friggin' cable? Unless I learn how to commit tax fraud, I can't pay my cable bills. I'm gonna write, you spelled right wrong, a letter to NASCAR producers about my dilemma. You spelled that wrong as well. To make matters worse, Chase Elliott finished second. Again, I hate cable and Truex. Damn. I'm gonna go
Wow.
negative on that one.
Why are these comments always so long? Usually it's just like first. How is it? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They're able to get them in time.
Damn. So
It's funny
thank
because this
you.
was like the first cup race on cable of the year, I think, right?
Yeah, it is.
So this guy did not sit comfy with him.
Not at all.
So thank you for everybody who's voted on the past poll. Let's see if I don't know about Richmond, but I think Talladega we can beat that record. I think we can get the 15,000 threshold.
Hey, if we
Oh,
can just
yeah.
get a race that's run as scheduled, I think that will help.
Yeah,
a
can we
lot.
just run a race on a Sunday and have it sunny and stuff like? I miss those days.
The
you?
Richmond weather looks good. I checked. It looks pretty
Yeah.
solid this weekend. So double thumbs up. We've just jinxed it. What were the TV ratings like for the Cup Series race at Martinsville, Jarrett, before we get into the Xfinity Series race?
Adam Stern had reported that the Cup race was down 9% from 2020 and 6% from 2019, with a 1.37 rating and a 2.299 million viewers. Some things to add, this race got rain delayed. I would guess that actually wouldn't affect it too much comparatively, seeing how Sunday always has about a 20% bump up compared to a Saturday night race. But at the same time, you can make the argument it not being in its time slot probably affected it. 2020 was also run on the same night it was supposed to be. And I believe it went up against the Masters, which absolutely dominated from what I
yeah.
saw.
Sunday
Masters.
afternoon that's why the race was scheduled for Saturday night, is to avoid Sunday afternoon Masters conflict, because that's like the championship. That's like when they crown the winner.
Yeah, so ratings not good. Could be worse compared to the start of the year, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for Cup. I
All
really
right.
don't have too much to add.
Beautiful. Well, we spent a good half hour on the Cup Series race. Meanwhile, the Xfinity Series race was arguably filled with even more storylines. The two big takeaways from this race: one, actually, I'd say three. One, Josh Berry is obviously great at short tracks. Anyone who disputed that, he proved he could do it in an Xfinity car. Just his 13th career start in Xfinity, he gets the win for Dale Jr.
Oh, that was only his 13th. I thought he ran more races.
No,
oh my
very
gosh.
sporadic until this year. This is
Yeah.
like the first year that he's actually running like a big chunk of races. Made Dale Jr. emotional, according to Dale Jr. himself at least. So really cool.
He
for Josh
cried.
Berry. Second
about
thing,
him.
my
Yeah.
takeaway, and this is just because he's my boy. Ty Gibbs is absolutely unreal. My God, he almost beat Josh Berry in this race. Was leading with like 30 to go until he used up his stuff. Still finished top 5.
Yeah.
But his average finish skyrocketed from 1.5 to 2.3. Absolute garbage. Overrated.
I don't
all
know.
the way.
I don't know what you're talking about, Eric. He had his worst career finish this past week. Dude's a total
He's
scrub.
going downhill. I
gotten
even
worse
told
with
him
every
on
race.
Twitter. I even DM'd him on Twitter that stat and was like, "Oh, downhill from here now." So
And my
worst career finish.
my third takeaway from this race is that sometimes you don't have to even watch the front of the field to find good drama. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's like racing for 28th place several laps down between Joe Graff
Those are the
Jr.
best battles.
and Gray Galding. So we'll talk about their brawl in a moment. But first off, I want to start with you, Danny B, because it looks like you're getting kind of sleepy over there. I want to give you some
I don't
homework
even
here.
know. I don't even know why I'm fine. I'm fine, but I'm also
Danny
not.
always looks tired. He always looks tired when he's like this. He's like,
I think it's good. I don't know. It's like, do you have like the light position like right in front of your like camera? Because I find when I look into the light, that makes me tired.
Yeah, I gotta squint it.
Not really. I mean,
I don't know.
now
just-
I'm looking at it.
I'm just spitballing then. All right, then maybe we have narcolepsy or something here. I don't know what's going on. Well, anyway, Danny, what'd you make of Josh Berry? I know most of the panel here are big Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans, but it has to be pretty special for Dale Jr. to watch the guy he's believed in for years finally win himself a NASCAR National Series race.
Well, it's even cooler because I live in Hendersonville, Tennessee, which is where Josh Berry is from. So the hometown guy got the win. And I'm not surprised that he won at Martinsville because it does play in to what he's been racing for the last few years, being a late model driver on a lot of probably, a lot of short, flat tracks. So it has really played in perfectly into his skills. So I'm not surprised. And he's the first driver to win the JRM8 since they brought it back. Now, what has it been, 2 years now or 3 years?
Yeah, I think so. Around that.
Somewhere around there.
I think it's 2 years.
Yeah. I know that it's the first time, I think, since 06 Michigan. That wasn't memorable at all.
Yeah.
That the 8-1, I think the 8-1 for them or in some form for them in the Xfinity series. Yeah, like I said, not a memorable race at all.
Nothing. Nobody got booed. Totally not. But I remember logging on to DaleEarnhardtJr.com or DaleJr.com back in like 5th grade. So this was like 2008. And I even remember seeing at that time some little late model page on there. I'm like, what is this? And he's been helping Josh Berry for years now and stuff too. So I totally understand why Junior was really emotional about this. Now, as far as Josh Berry running full time, I don't know about all that yet. I mean, his performances on the 1.5 miles, it's just not up to par yet.
A lot of it hasn't been his fault.
Yeah, it hasn't been his fault.
He doesn't have a lot of experience either.
Yeah, he just needs to get more. Yeah.
Yeah, I think after this year, I haven't looked at what other races he's running this year really, but if I think this is the year he gets some of that experience, maybe next year.
Yeah, I know at some point, Sam Meyer is basically supposed to just take over that 8 car at some point this year, and I think Sam Meyer is actually probably going to actually get a win this year. I think he'll be a lot like Ty Gibbs in a way. I think he'll get a win this year, honestly.
Yeah.
But where does that leave any room for Josh Berry? Well, technically, I think in the Xfinity series they're not subject to you can only have 4 full-time cars. So, I mean, if they had the funding, they could. They still own the 88 in the Xfinity series. They could put a 5th car out there if they really needed to.
I know talking to Josh Berry on Out of the Groove earlier this week, I asked him about, what might it take to, finalize plans either for more races this season, which he admitted was very unlikely, but what about 2022? He seemed to think that was certainly possible. And I think when talking to him, the way he phrased it is that he's still trying to figure out what a win like this will actually do for a guy like him in his career. Like how much added exposure will this get? How many opportunities will this bring for him? But it sounds like he's hopeful that he could at least run another part-time schedule next year. Obviously, we know he's stout in the short track scene, great late model driver. He's made a career, a name for himself down there, but he'd obviously love to get a big full-time Xfinity series opportunity. It sounds like his plan is looking towards 2022. Although I saw today, it sounds like one sponsor, Tire Pro, stepped up. They're going to sponsor him for 2 races this year that I guess previously were not going to be sponsored. So and Marcus Lemonis I saw was tweeting at Kelly Earnhardt, so you never know.
It seems like that's a deal for Talladega. I don't know if it's really confirmed, but it seems like it.
They're working on something.
I tend to think they'll figure something out. I feel like Dale Jr. really wants it to happen. He's, got a win under him now. I think something will happen. It's just a matter of who and who's going to be able to step up and fund them.
I know that Junior has probably always liked all the drivers who raced for his team, but this seems like the first driver who he's had this close of a connection to, honestly, since Brad Keselowski back in 2009.
Good point. Yeah, him and Keselowski, they were really, really close back in those days, and they also won a lot of races too. But yeah, I mean, it's understandable. I mean, he helped the guy, in his late model career just, over a decade ago, and now it's come full circle officially.
It definitely reminds me of that, as well as Dale Jr., Martin Truex Jr. vibes too.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like those 2 drivers and Josh Berry are like the 3 that he's just putting invested just everything he can into. I mean, it shows each time, pays off. I mean, if let's be real, for Josh Berry's sake, let's hope that it ends out the same way, become a cup champion, all that good stuff. That's
those two. Yeah.
I've been saying it since last year. What Dale Jr. has done as an owner and as a mentor, driver, coach kind of figure, that right there alone is worthy of the Hall of Fame, let alone what he did as a driver.
Oh yeah, he should get into the Hall of Fame as an owner, like as well too. So yeah, he's
On his
built
plaque
an amazing program.
On his plaque they're designing, it should make sure they have owner. Like driver
Yeah.
and owner should be like on the same
Yeah.
level.
He's an Xfinity Series champion basically, and hopefully
Two-time,
someday,
two-time.
oh yeah, two time, and hopefully someday, perhaps a Cup Series owner as a champion. You never know.
He opened the door, said it was possible, but
Cup Series.
he
Yeah.
also in the
I
same
never
breath said it was
thought-
unlikely that they're
I
not really working on
I
it.
never thought that they'd even get that close though, because even a few years ago, it was pretty much said like, hey, they're not interested at all in that.
But
So,
now with this, with
Yeah.
this new car coming out, and they're looking into getting a charter. Maybe, you never know. So Junior as a champion in the Cup Series as an owner, perhaps someday. I don't know. We'll see.
The charter system though just makes it so complicated.
Mhm.
There's so
Yeah.
much competition even just to get a hold of one of those suckers. There's so much money up front and stuff. It's a lot of work. Then
I'm
it's
sure-
not something that's just going to happen. They're going to have to premedit. They're going to have to say we're doing it and put a lot of eggs in that basket.
just say, Rick Ware, hand it over.
I'm sure NASCAR would probably help, maybe just a little bit for Junior. You don't think that would help him just a tad?
Oh, they
bit, like,
absolutely would.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can, sure. I don't
Yeah, I mean, give him a little wiggle room here. We'll give you the special discount here, Junior. Junebug.
That is if it was NASCAR's charter to sell. The problem is now they'll be buying the charter from a Rick Ware, from a Spire,
that's
from
right.
whoever.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're going to
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
sell it for the most money they could possibly get. And with all these potential bidders wanting in, we know 2311 wants one. We know Trackhouse wants one because they're leasing their current one. There's all like you said, Tyler. They're expensive partially because they're so scarce, but also because there is a demand for it. That's what I talked about on my show this week. Is I think Dale Jr. saying that the next gen car has made them think about entering the Cup Series. That's a huge, a huge endorsement of the next gen car and what it's set to do for the business model. But it, at the same time, exposes the difficulties of the charter system. Like, wow, this new car makes it really affordable to get into the sport. But you now need a charter,
But-
and there's only 36 of them. So, only 36
Yeah.
teams can race. So, who cares if it's cheap if you still can't start a new team and get in there easily?
Yeah, that's by design too, a little bit, because it gives teams like Rick Ware Racing some value with really not having anything physical to back it. Just
No, the teams that have the charter, certainly it adds a sense of stability. And, one thing that is often overlooked, we talk about, I wish they had 43 car fields. Now it's like, I wish they could fill the 40 car fields. Like at the same time, you shrink the field size to 36, that purse money now becomes a little bit more for each team that qualifies. So the 36 teams with charters might be getting a slightly larger slice of purse money. I'm sure they like that. NASCAR's trying to keep the big teams happy. At the same time, it sort of by default ends up keeping Rick Ware happy. But I think NASCAR is willing to overlook that as long as Penske, Gibbs, Hendrick,
Man.
SHR. If they're happy, NASCAR's happy. It's just, it is difficult because it's, Michael Jordan has the money right now to start two more teams. You could put, that could be competitive, but they don't have, there's not a charter available for them, so they're not going to do it. So there's still some roadblocks in there. We've jumped the shark on this conversation a bit. Before we move on from Xfinity, because we spent a long time on Martinsville, the Greg Galding, Joe Graff Jr. Brawl. What do you think of that, Darian?
So basically, I've been keeping track with Joe Graff Jr. for quite some time now on the side. He's gotten into some beefs before, earlier this year, as a matter of fact, or actually last year with Jesse Little, actually, and they were like having a bit of a Twitter war last year, and then now this year too with Greg Galding too. So. These mid-pack battles, I mean, they're more entertaining than what people will give these drivers credit for, just because, these guys are fighting and scrounging for the last, piece of the purse money and all that stuff. And what was funny is, too, Greg Galding kind of got exposed here because he admitted on Sirius NASCAR XM radio that, I dumped him on purpose. And then somebody had played back the clip from Matt Kenseth admitting I did it. I did the same thing. So I don't know. Some people are like, oh, it needs to be suspended at all. But I'm like, it's a battle for 30th. Like, who cares? Yeah, I mean, it's entertaining.
I'm sorry. NASCAR has actually started to set a precedent that's like, if you admit to doing something on purpose, you're not supposed to do like that, or say spinning yourself out on purpose. If you admit to these kind of things and just go out there and be like, I did it. Like, that's just stupid as hell. They're good.
He said it on Sirius XM radio.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
dumb.
He was pissed. This was post race too, and like apparently Joe Graff Jr. was saying stuff on Twitter, and then Greg Galding was saying stuff on the radio.
It took like 3 tries for Joe Graff Jr. to say something on Twitter.
Yeah,
They delete and reset.
I'm
He didn't even delete him. He just they were. I don't know if he's deleted him since then, but
I
it's
think
just
he did. Yeah.
3 of the same tweets with typos each time in them. Like
He was so angry. He was just mashing
Slight
it.
variation.
I like that slight variations.
But
No,
yeah.
man. I mean, it's fun to see a fight though. Like I'm not going
He
to
was on the
complain if I
ground,
see
too.
a fight.
Yeah.
I never want to see a fight like every week, but it's nice when it happens, you know.
Mhm.
When it
Get a
An
happens,
couple
actual
year-
fight, an
Yeah.
actual fight too,
Actual
an actual
fight.
fight, not
What
just pushing.
happens-
You want to
When
see
it
stuff
happens on the-
land.
Mm.
yeah, when it happens on a short track, it just feels more real then.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of this pushing, shoving. Oh, you hit me, I hit you. No. All this fight, I like it.
Also, something you got to remember here for the Xfinity Series, them having the week off in Richmond, their next race is Talladega. So teams like that, track position is more key. So when what they're fighting for a better starting position at Talladega. Then
Ah, good point here.
Yeah.
But Greg Galding, keep your mouth shut, man. Like, what are you doing? Don't do that. You want to lose your ride? Stop.
Danny's favorite driver.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
thought about that too.
all-time favorite. Just
Right.
go get a Krispy Kreme and enjoy Greg Galding.
Yes, all right.
I think we can just all be thankful that Mike Harmon was there so that nobody got seriously hurt. He
Hey,
was able
Mike
to-
Harmon, we got a big Harmon cameo there. You'll love to see that.
All right. Well, we finally finished talking about Martinsville. So great short track race. Got another short track set of short track races this weekend at Richmond. Very, very exciting stuff. But speaking of short tracks and potential future short tracks, Jarrett, I'll let you kind of take the lead on this because Nashville Fairgrounds have been in the news recently because I guess the Nashville Fair Board has begun having those meetings, those discussions with local residents. Both sides have been weighing their arguments, trying to get approvals to renovate the track. What have you been hearing? Because it sounds like some of these, I know you have a video you're working on, but it sounds like some of these residents who, bought a house next to a racetrack now seem surprised that the racetrack is perhaps going to be used as a racetrack. What's going on over there?
My little ears is too loud.
The track was here when I moved in, but now it's gonna be used more. It needs to leave. Get it out of here.
We can get there. We'll get there. So a lot of this started off, I believe yesterday when this big headline came out being like, one of the representatives there said there will be no NASCAR in 2022. And at least from what I saw, social media ran with it as like, this is why we need to go to Wilkesboro instead. And this is why this, and this is why that. There's more to it.
I didn't think anyone thought that it would be there in 2022 anyways. It's going to take a long time to get it back.
Yeah, there's a lot on it. So the Nashville Fair Board, they had a meeting yesterday, I believe. I think it was in the morning yesterday. And there were like 3 separate sections to it. It started out with people calling in about the Speedway expansion, as they're calling it. After that, they had Jerry Caldwell from Bristol Motor Speedway, which is the track and the group that is helping push this as like a subset of SMI, answering questions from the different representatives, giving the plan of what they've done so far, what they plan to do, what is on the table for everything, planning wise, meeting wise, so on and so forth. And then after that, there was some other stuff about the MLS stadium surrounding all that. Now, the big thing that caught Twitter last night was the comments that people were saying in the calls. If you are in any way informed about racing, it'll drive you nuts. I'm just telling you now.
So many uneducated people, like in terms of what they know about racing.
But I will say, I think anyone who's invested in this needs to listen to the entire thing because this is what we're up against in a sense, with the local pushback to it. There is a few of them. And again, don't send a bunch of hate to these people. It's even though they have an opinion we don't agree with, like it's not cool to send a bunch of BS to them. Like,
Yeah, don't
be
better, y'all. Come on.
go after the
Which-
ideas, not the people
which-
is my big thing.
I do want to say this because of what you just said. The Nashville Fair Board's did do something pretty dumb because they asked.
Don't bring attention to it. Don't.
No.
All I'm gonna say with that, I wish that Bristol would send those people free tickets to come to a race. That's all. I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. Bristol race.
Oh
Why
yeah,
not? Why not?
Well, and I think they should do that. I mean,
they absolutely should. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll go to
if
Bristol
I'm
and be
not-
like, "Holy shit, it is loud!
It's
Oh
like
my god!"
you can't lose. You can't
Yeah.
lose either way. You can't lose. Either they go to the race or they end up annoyed. So you can't lose.
Well,
I'm just saying they seem like the perfect people who should be invited to come check out a race.
yeah.
So some of the comments on there, for instance, a lot of them talked about, too much noise. I hate that argument. A lot of them talked about, pollution, for instance, because we live in a giant. They live in a giant metropolitan city. There's no way in hell that there was pollution in the city before that.
Don't drive a car.
But there was a lot of misinformation. That's something that Jerry Caldwell from Bristol Motor Speedway addressed in what he was talking about. Let me see. I might have a notebook on me. I took some notes. I have notes on my phone here.
You were
I took
up all
from
night,
it last
weren't you,
night.
Jared? Like, did you sleep?
No, I did not. I took a 20-minute
Barrett
nap
never
today.
sleeps. He never sleeps, bro. He never sleeps.
Well, this is a little bit further. Okay. So, for instance, the first caller talked about noise. Every caller talked about noise. That was a big one. I know that Bristol's talked about doing some noise mitigation with it, but again, like it's a racetrack. That's going to be a hard one to fight. They also talked about, some of them, for instance, thought that the track was going to be closing soon. That's why they bought it there.
I mean, you can't until it's closed.
Joke's on
Yeah.
you.
They-
You're
they-
an idiot. Joke is on y'all.
They read some article from 5 years ago about how NASCAR is dying and took that at face value. And
Oh,
ran
that's
with it.
The way I
perfect.
see it, on a lesser extent, this is like moving next to a dog park, thinking that it's going to be bulldozed, and wondering why 2 years later there's dogs barking right
Hey.
behind your
Oh.
backyard.
I hate to
I'm-
burst your bubble, but
I'm in a group for Hendersonville residents, and there was someone they live in Nashville now. They're thinking about coming here, and they were asking, "How loud is the trains that come through there?"
The trains.
the trains.
They don't want to be disrupted by the loud trains.
Oh my god.
Hey,
dude.
They
trains
would
are
not have
cool.
survived at my
Yeah.
college. So the third caller, for instance, talked about there being 4 weeks of racing added with NASCAR being there, and this is something else where you can tell these are non-racing fans. And I want to say, before going any further, that while what they're saying is dumb, it's important that like we hear about this. One, because like I said, it's what we're fighting against idea wise, but two is like, this is the stuff that Bristol, I wouldn't say even NASCAR fans as much. I don't think this part lies on the fans as much as Bristol Motor Speedway and that group with SMI. But this is what they have to get across is talking about what these people think is going to happen versus what is actually going to happen. So some of them brought that up. Others brought up an argument that this one drove me up a wall.
Please say it. Please
They
go ahead.
said that if this was an area with a school that was a private school or a predominantly white school, that none of this would have been happening. I'm not going to go too much into what
Y'all see where he's getting at. though.
Oh, yeah.
So
I think insinuating that is irresponsible at the best and just downright wrong on many levels at the worst.
That was just a low comment to make.
and also just a reminder, Dale Jr. is a part of the group, by the way. Just so you know.
So a
Yeah.
lot of them, and I think this is where Bristol Motor Speedway and SMI need to work, is a lot of them did say it came out of nowhere. Like the neighborhoods didn't know it. Now, again, I think if you're living in an area, it's your responsibility to be informed on what your area is doing. For instance, 5 minutes down the road, there's an IndyCar race this summer.
Yeah,
None of them
in the
mentioned
city.
that.
In the city.
And
by the way.
3 weeks later,
Yeah.
there's an SRX race as well at the fairgrounds that none of them
I bet they don't
mentioned.
even know what that is.
They don't even
what
know.
that is.
They're gonna
It's
be
not gonna
shocked.
register.
They're gonna be shocked when they come to down. Like, what is this?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't live there, but Danny, it's still very much an active racetrack. Not every
Yeah,
weekend, but
there's still
many
race-
weekends there are races.
Yeah,
there.
I think there's at least at least 2 races there a month.
Yeah.
Tyler, you talked about it on your channel too, about like the racing there too at different points, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of racing going on there. But one thing, if these people clearly don't know what they're talking about, that is somewhat of a good thing, at least for us, because if you know
We can debunk them and have fun.
if the people in charge realize, hey, these people have no idea what they're talking about, they don't understand what's happening in their community, that's just gonna maybe delegitimize their feelings.
Their whole
a little
argument.
bit.
Their whole
Yeah,
argument.
they're
The
you know,
prob-
go ahead.
The problem with that, though, is that the people they're calling into is the fair boards. Now, the fair board is a whole lot more than that racetrack.
Yeah.
So honestly, the
Yeah.
racetrack is the least of that board's concerns, honestly. They just
Yeah.
have it, you know.
And
Yeah.
not everyone on the fair board probably wants to see this happen anyways, too.
They
you
probably
know?
even forgot it even existed. Probably. Some
Yeah.
of them.
Well, there is one. I did some research because one of them, for instance, one of the members of the fair board who was against it the most, didn't even know the bylaws like that they were supposed to go by for meetings. Like they didn't know different laws, didn't know different structures of it. It was kind of jarring to listen to be completely honest. And I looked it up. This is the same one who accused Marcus Smith and SMI last year of not putting anything on the table. He's the guy who's been getting all the headlines. I don't know if this is his way of getting in good with the community, or if he just doesn't know what he's talking about, or if he's just says dumb things.
There's a lot of dumb things being said at this meeting. Like,
I will say,
like what?
well, I want to get to what Jerry Caldwell talked about.
Yeah.
There were a few callers. Like I don't want to bash all of them because there were about a third of them who sounded very open to it. They in the sense that they wanted to learn more before they made a final judgment on it. So I give them credit. This isn't a complete area of people who know nothing whatsoever and just want to shun it for that reason. But Jerry Caldwell, he went over a few different things. For instance, there is a plan that's already being executed right now of talking to the community and different community engagement, talking to different stakeholder groups. That this will be done by the time they meet again. I think May 11th that is, and that's an important date that people need to keep an eye out for it on. The estimates I know that I've seen for the most part, and I think they talked about it a bit here, was 60 million. To put it in perspective, the soccer stadium and everything having to do with that costs $325 million. So it's not like this would be the biggest expense that has ever been made.
That's like pennies. That's pennies
area.
compared to that stadium.
The goal right now is 30,000 seats, which I think that's fine.
Doesn't
I mean,
it
it's
see
15,000
already.
15,000 already.
Yeah.
I guess expand small and then keep progressing as time goes on. Not bad.
There's a few different things. So, for instance, NASCAR being involved, from what Jerry Caldwell and what SMI has estimated, would actually have less dates at the Fairgrounds Speedway, through the year.
With NASCAR being involved, right?
It would be ran very similar to Bristol, because Bristol, for all intents and purposes, honestly doesn't have many race events per year.
No. And two, like, I think they were talking about getting a little stricter on like testing and stuff there. You can't just like show up and run laps all day, because right now, from what I understand, anyone can just show up and
Which
That's what Josh Balicki, I think, did the other day in like a street car.
Yeah.
Straight up.
On that note, I know there's a big asphalt racing scene here in Middle Tennessee. The fairgrounds, I think, is like the one with the most prestige to go race over there. But just up the road from me, we got a little place called Highland Rim Speedway. A lot of those same guys who would want to go racing at National Fairgrounds, they can still get with people over at Highland Rim and do testing up there. They can still make sure their cars are good by going to a facility like that.
Yeah.
That facility is in the middle of nowhere, like one caller said. There is no racetrack in the middle of a residential neighborhood.
Hey, at least that caller did do their research, because that is true. They
did their research.
There are no racetracks in urban or residential areas that I know of.
Wow. Yeah. What a genius. What a genius right there.
If there are if there's anything to take out of all of this, though, is that, what it's leading to May 11th, 5 p.m. I believe it's all in person due to what the state's doing in Tennessee. They're having basically representatives from Bristol present the plan basically to the public, open public engagement, and from there they'll decide on what they're going to do. I know that the mayor of Nashville, as well as SMI and Bristol, the goal is to basically have a vote ready on getting work renovations and work done to it, getting that voted on and everything underway, trying to start July 12th. That was what the one who said there'd be no racing in 2022. That's what he was talking about, is that he thinks they're doing it too fast. But I mean, from what it sounded like, the majority of the board sounded like they wanted to keep going with the quick plan the same way they did with the MLS stadium. So I think that's a positive.
I think in the end, if SMI presents this in a way where Nashville will make money from this instead of lose money, the right people will listen to that, and it should outweigh the probably more of a vocal minority of people who are against it.
And also, finally, in conclusion, if you don't want to hear race cars going around a racetrack, simply don't move closer to that racetrack.
Hey, and I got to be honest, that weekend for race weekends, as we all know, we like to get Airbnbs that are pretty close to the track. That's a great time to rent out your house.
It is a great area.
Do they not realize the profit
area
they could be making off of it? Like, use your common sense.
Go on a vacation for the weekend. If you don't wanna
go
watch
take the kids. You don't want to hear the cars. It's too loud. Okay, rent out your house and leave for the weekend.
You're right, because Danny took us last year to the fairgrounds, and it's a really nice area. There's tons of stuff around to do. It's a really nice place.
Yeah, for sure. It's like my wife stayed in a really awesome Airbnb. Like, you could literally almost throw a rock into the racetrack from there. It's and there's tons of great restaurants around there too and stuff. Like, if you're going to the race, it'd be awesome. Like, it's something I would really enjoy, at least. So
we can go get Hattie B's. Hattie B's is like
Hattie B's close.
5 minutes away.
Hattie B's, you get some of that Hattie B's.
Get some hot chicken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Danny put me on that. Yeah, Danny put me on that hot chicken. I've been obsessed ever since.
You got it in Vegas too. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll taste as good as out in Tennessee, though, man.
Wait, this is a chain restaurant we're getting all hyped about?
I guess it is.
Kind of. But it's rare, so
yeah.
We gotta take you. We gotta take you.
All right, I'm the only one here that has not been to Nashville. That will change.
You have not had Nashville hot chicken yet.
Yeah, you'll pay for it afterwards, but it's worth it.
I had hot chicken for lunch, actually.
And he's paying for it by being here with
us.
us.
Have fun tonight after the show, Tyler.
Oh yeah.
Knoxville hot chicken is not the same though.
I see.
No.
Alrighty. Well, we've got to pick up the pace. I'm looking at some of the other things we have to talk about. We are over an hour into the show, and we have covered 2 of the, count 'em, 10 things we plan to talk about here tonight. So let's speed things up just a little bit. We're still going to talk about the important things. We have a mailbag question coming up, lightning round coming up. We'll get to those super chats as well in just a few minutes. But firstly, really quick, Adam Stern reported a couple different times this week that NASCAR is working on opening their infield back up to VIPs, sponsors, guests, as soon perhaps as Darlington in May. So I know we've heard from several team owners that have said this is a huge deal. Obviously, a large part of selling sponsorship is selling the experience to the CEOs, to the upper levels of management. If you're going to spend millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars on sponsoring a car, you want the full experience. Like, dirty little secret is some of these guys are just rich and want to have a fun weekend or two. That's kind of how this works. A lot of them get into NASCAR because NASCAR is fun. So it's big to be able to bring some of these sponsors and VIPs back into the track. And if things go well, this means that in the not so distant future, perhaps more media gets into the track, more fans get into the garage area, and that would be best for all of us.
You can only entertain these people with a grandstand ticket and maybe a box for so long.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, you have to bring back the full experience eventually, and with the way our country is progressing with the COVID vaccines and all that stuff, we're definitely moving in the right direction. I cannot wait.
From everything I'm saying, it's like we are. You hate to say it too soon, but we are turning a corner. It looks like.
Yeah.
And now there's a way for people to show up and do it safely, and that's that's the main thing, really.
Mhm.
I think they can kind of guarantee some people's safety.
But wasn't there a story going around where like some of these teams would like sneak some of these like sponsors in anyways?
There were
You
some-
know?
there were some
we had
rumors.
we had all that stuff with Mike Ruck last year, which, by the way, are they gone? Have they even been out? this year?
I think they're
I
gone.
thought about that the other day, but
I-
Someone else got in trouble for it also this year. Someone,
Yeah.
Chip Ganassi.
Chip Ganassi.
Oh, Ganassi. Well, I don't know if that was a sponsor. There's,
I
I thought
Oh,
there's somebody.
never mind.
Let's hold our tongue at that.
Yeah, never mind.
Those are just rumors. Again, those are just rumors. But
Well, I think the one thing that's really positive about this, and I don't know the full extent they're doing it. It might just be Cup race day. I mean, seems like they're holding back on the smaller series for different things. For instance, I mean, last year, for the most part, you really didn't see fans at Xfinity and truck races, even when there were Cup races with fans. So I don't know if they're going to do this for the full weekend. I know it's going to be extremely limited, like no going through, hauler tours, no, going on pit road for pictures, different things like that. It's going to be very limited. But with the weekends, for the most part, being 2-day events, some of them even, I mean, I think, I can't remember which weekend it is down through the year. It might be the second Richmond weekend is like a 1-day weekend. That's it. It's a Saturday night. That's it. I think that plays really well into the hands of NASCAR for making this work, as instead of how it used to be. For instance, when I'd go to Chicagoland in the infield back in like 08, 09, we'd show up Wednesday, afternoon, Thursday morning, and stay through Monday morning. That was just how it was normal through there, because there was always something on the track through those days in the weekend. So I think this really does help NASCAR to make it normal and to kind of, in a lot of ways, slide under the radar of a lot of people who'd be against it. I will point out one thing that I found funny as hell is there was a collage on Twitter, or a compilation, I should say, on Twitter, of all the drivers' thoughts of it and how much they should be open. And like every single one of them gave a different answer. Like Brad Keselowski, with no surprise whatsoever, is like, we should be open 100% right now, but some people aren't ready to do that. And then like Truex basically made no comment. Byron was like, masks. And then like Briscoe was like, well, I think we can try. Like,
I'm a rookie. I'm not allowed to say anything.
I found it funny. I mean, and I think that's like just a small sample of like probably the entire garage and industry is right now. Like
a lot of mixed opinions.
You can't tell me that the office is at Daytona. There's not at least one of those guys that goes, screw the vaccine, screw all of it, let's go gung ho. And there's one who's like sitting in the corner with a mask and a hazmat suit. Like it's just
a whole bubble. He's in a whole bubble, actually.
he's got one of those giant plastic bubbles that they're giving out at concerts now. But
he hugs his family through the bubble, basically. That's how
I haven't felt the touch of my wife in years.
What if before I lose my train of thought, because it's easy to lose, what I think though, and what I've kind of noticed is you're seeing, like Danny said, a shift. And that's what I'm excited about. You're seeing people who previously would not go outside for anything, who are like, okay, we need to do this. I'll give on this. And I'm like, that's what I like to see. The people who are stuck in the mud on locking everything down, having no fans, changing their opinions is what's making me happy about this whole thing. Because it's like you can see the change.
I think one thing that made me really happy was this past weekend in Florida was WrestleMania, and it was the first WWE show that they've done with actual fans in attendance since last year. And it made me very happy to see it. And it made me think that, wow, this is actually one of the more normal things that I think I've seen in a while. And then immediately went back to no fans, and it'll be that way at least till July, I think. But
Florida's a different animal.
Yeah. And also just in general, just in the different areas we live in, it's all even, starting to get back to normal. Out here in Las Vegas, May 1st, no more wearing masks. That's gone. And then June 1st, open 100%. So I can't wait.
Wow, that must be nice.
Yeah.
Illinois. Really nice.
What's going on in Illinois, Jared? What's going on?
Let's talk about Wisconsin instead.
Yeah, so basically nothing good.
Eric, how's it over in Texas?
It's actually it's I mean, everything's very open. Like, I found it remarkable watching baseball. Texas Rangers had 40,000 fans in their stadium. The Astros have
Don't
had-
they
last time
suck?
they did that.
Don't they suck though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say,
It was
don't the
opening-
Rangers suck?
It was opening day.
Yeah.
Everyone shows up for opening day, even if
Yeah,
you suck.
yeah.
Astros have had 15 to 20,000 fans, half capacity in their stadium every night. So, I mean, things are slowly but surely steaming to look normal again. And so far, no massive upticks in cases. Vaccines continue to be rolled out. And, hopefully that trickles over to NASCAR and we get bigger and better crowds and more access.
Just recently got mine. Just recently got my vaccine right there.
Does
There
this
you go.
mean we'll see a fully packed All-Star race, guys? Yeah!
Please. But it's at Texas,
You
though.
could give
so
those
no.
tickets away
Yeah.
for free, and that will not happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Pay
hey,
people
you
to
want,
go to the race.
hey, do you want to see a race? Where is it? It's Texas. Oh, no, we can't do that.
Nah.
The tickets are free. Oh no, we'll pay
No,
you.
no.
You get people across the border in Oklahoma complaining about the noise from Texas Motor Speedway to try and get the track shut down, doing us all a favor.
They're too busy with tornadoes.
Yeah, those are a little bit noisier. Well, so exciting, some promise shown in the NASCAR side of things, the COVID NASCAR side of things. Hopefully sponsors come back. That's good for teams, especially smaller teams and mid-sized teams for sure. With that being said, it's time for a very interactive part of the show, the mailbag question of the week. This one comes to us directly from DirecTV Cup Series, and his question, his or her question, I don't know, it's Cup Series, it's a
Yeah,
sanctioning
it's a Cup
body.
Series,
This
yeah.
this sanctioning body's question is, would each of you rather win one Xfinity Series championship or 5 Cup Series races in your lifetime?
5 cup races.
5 cup
Five
races.
cup races,
Five
yeah.
cup races. Yeah.
100%.
Okay. 5 cup races, and I'm holding up the number 5. There's a certain driver who's won 5 cup races in his career,
Okay.
and he also won a cup championship. His name is Alan Kulwicki.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean,
Awesome.
granted, it's not
Yeah.
it's not for the best reasons that it's only 5, but still, he's won 5. I mean,
Yeah.
Ryan Blaney has won 5 cup races.
Okay, 5 cup races, but you don't win a cup championship then.
That wasn't in the question.
Yeah, it wasn't in the question. It wasn't in the question. What do you mean?
Ward Burton, 5.
Oh.
Well,
I
that
think
was-
even what's his name?
Tiny Lund.
Underfunded guy. Yeah. And
Jeremy Mayfield,
Dave Marcus, right? 5 or 4 wins.
Dave Marcus.
Yeah,
Yes.
5 wins. Okay.
Even just winning a cup race, I think I'd rather have that to my name than winning
Yeah.
an Xfinity Series championship, honestly.
I'll put it to you like this, because I have the all-time list on my phone because I'm that kind of nerd. How many drivers can any of you guess how many drivers have won 5 cup races in their career?
Okay.
Like a quantity of, I would say
It's like-
it's like over 60, I think, right?
Well, okay, so we got a range. That's the right range, over 60.
Okay, so I'd say around just a little over 70, maybe. A little over 70, perhaps?
I'm going to say 68.
No, I'll say 69%. There you go.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Any other
What,
guesses?
Eric? What, Eric? Come on, it's a me. Come on.
What's the number, Jarrett?
80.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
You would be tied. I mean, well, 80, but you'd technically be tied for 73rd all time on the wins list if you only had 5 career cup wins.
And plus, like the Xfinity Series championship, it's like only diehard fans would know like who the Xfinity champion is. But like you win 5 cup races, it's like, oh, this is a Cup Series winner right here. You know, that's a different level in my opinion.
Like Paul Menard, who already won the Brickyard 400.
You won the
guys?
Brickyard 400, yeah.
I like how we were unanimous on our answer, but for completely different reasons.
Yeah, like, it's just different ones.
Even Trevor Bain, he only had 1 Xfinity win, I think. It was Texas one
He
year.
had two actually.
Oh, he
he
had
won
2?
in Iowa 2013. So
Okay,
he
that's
two.
right. But even then, like, you're not going to know those. You're going to know about his 2011 Daytona 500 win.
Exactly.
that's because it's Daytona 500, you know.
Yeah, that's
I don't
different.
know.
Yeah.
I think there's a case to be made. I think within the walls of NASCAR, people might view a championship depending on the format. I don't know that a championship, I'll be quite honest, I don't know that a championship with the current format would be looked at quite the same way that a championship 10 years ago would have been looked at.
No.
Although 10 years ago, well, what year did they stop allowing Cup regulars to contend for the championship?
2012 or 11.
2011.
Yeah, so it's 10
1 year
years ago.
short.
Yeah, I don't know.
And here's a question: are the 5 cup wins? Are they like, they just kind of like rain delay
Kentucky.
wins.
My
Kentucky.
5 cup wins.
like-
My 5 cup wins are 5 Daytona 500s. There you go. I'm in the history
Then
books
yes,
forever.
if any one of those is a Daytona 500, I easily take. Like I already would
5.
probably go with that, but I would easily, if any of those are a crown jewel, I take the 5.
Yeah.
Hey, I think what one of you guys said, just look at Michael Waltrip. He's got 2 Daytona 500 wins.
Yeah, he's got 4 wins. Oh, but he has 4 wins,
Nah,
just
man,
short.
you can't put all of them in one basket. I'm gonna have a Daytona 500,
Gotta spread 'em out.
Southern 500, a Bristol night race, a Talladega race, and a Coke 600.
Okay, all right.
only
I'll
that
So no,
start
easy.
now.
substitute
good
Talladega with Indianapolis just for the prestige factor.
Okay, all right. So
There you go.
I really want to win 5 Pocono races. You know,
I mean,
I just like Pocono.
A man of
Tricky
culture.
triangle.
takes talent. Takes
yeah,
ton of
it does
talent.
take talent. Yeah, so,
Very
okay.
tricky.
Would
All
you
right,
have
fine.
2 sweeps in there?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
Nice.
so 1 Daytona 500 for me, one fall Talladega win, and then I want 2 Bristol night wins.
I want
and
5
and for-
all-star race wins because that's a lot of money.
yeah, and then the final win, the Coca-Cola 600. There you go.
I want 5 wins, but I want to just come 5 in a row consecutively. And,
And then never win again.
I never win another race.
Yeah,
never
you'd be
even
like
raced
Harry
that
Gant. Harry Gant won 5 in a row, right? Mr. September won 5 races in a row, right? Wasn't it? I thought. I don't know.
I
Or
can't-
4, something like that.
Handsome Harry.
Yeah. See, Jared's like, look it up, Jared, please.
Well, thank you for the question, DirecTV Cup Series. I'm going to move us along a little bit, guys, because we still
really
have,
quick.
Oh,
let me
Sorry.
send that to all
Oh, yeah.
lowercase letters weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com. This does not mean that you are going to be a guest on the show. If you ask, you will be promptly ignored.
You're blocked.
Send your question though. You won't even be blocked. You'll just be ignored.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
You're not worth
Yeah,
blocking.
that's even worse.
And that was a weekly podcast guest at gmail.com, right?
Yes.
easy peasy, rolls right off the tongue. Fantastic.
Anyway.
Well, before we get into the lightning round, Danny, did you bring your favorite Lionel diecast today to the show?
We are going to Richmond this weekend, which is why it is appropriate for me to showcase the 2016 Dale Jr.
Ooh.
Xfinity Series win, his last NASCAR victory ever. And we thank our friends over at Lionel Racing for continuing to make us diecast replicas of our favorite diecast each year. You can order your 2021 diecast from Lionel Racing by going to lionelracing.com. Get your favorites ordered. I'm still expecting a few all-star ones to come in soon, as well as an Alex Bowman 2021 and a few others I've got pre-ordered. Get your diecast today from lionelracing.com. Guys, what do you have?
Just look at how detailed this tire is. It even has the whole sticker on it. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I have Casey Atwood's 1999 Busch Series car that he won 2 races with.
I've got Matt Kenseth's 2011 Texas win. He dominated this race. You got the little donut there on the side. Looks gorgeous.
I got Dale Jr.'s 2015 Daytona win in the summer. I love this car, man.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
Pretty sharp.
Anytime
got-
Dale Jr.'s in a black car, it's good.
I got another 88 here, but it's Casey Kane Xfinity cards armor.
Oh, that's Casey
Billy car.
Kane.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
So
Nice.
I'm
That's
impressed. He didn't realize we were going to do our little diecast thing, but our guest was prepared
Yeah.
anyways. That's good.
I had some random diecast laying around.
I
you know?
always
Okay.
try to make sure I have at least one diecast within arm's reach of me anytime I'm sitting down, like
Guys, I'm always packing that thing on me.
Yeah, I was pagging.
All right. Yes. Well, thank you to Lionel Racing for being sponsors of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast and the Out of the Groove Podcast Network. Now, boys and girls, do you smell that in the air? You know how the air kind of changes scent? I think Darian does. Oh my gosh.
And once again, the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Eric, what do we have on tap? And who got shocked this time? Was it Jared again? Was it
No,
Jared?
it was you.
again?
It was you.
Oh, it's
Going
me.
all over the place.
Oh, it's
man.
me.
Dang.
All right. That's funny.
Yes. So lightning round this week. We actually don't have too many to talk about, but I'll roll right through these real quick. Happy birthday, Dale Jr. 3 days in a row. Twitter wished Dale Jr. a happy birthday, or claimed that we were, even though it was not his birthday. It was like 6 months before his birthday.
Yeah,
So that was
Twitter
weird.
bust, Twitter.
Something that I did not expect to see this week, especially, and you wouldn't have known if you watched the broadcast, is that Jeff Gordon tested positive for COVID-19 last week when NASCAR was on a break, but he is recovered. He only had mild symptoms, so he's good to go. It has been officially announced that the Sonoma Raceway can have fans for the June 5th and 6th weekend.
Might drive
so
down. I might
good.
drive down to that. We'll see.
Denny Hamlin has confirmed he can last 9 laps. No context needed.
Why'd you put that in the lightning round?
But are they caution laps though?
Around Pocono.
I mean, we got to defer to what is most often run laps at Martinsville, and that is green flag laps. So,
Oh gosh.
Y'all just have to use Twitter for the good stuff, guys.
Poor Denny. Why you gotta say that? Come on.
Hey, he did it to himself. He didn't need to.
Yeah,
he
I
didn't
know,
need to make that
I know.
joke.
PSA, watch Emp Lemon's video on NASCAR Revenge. Really well done video. And I saw a screenshot of somebody on this podcast here. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Somebody, the guy in charge of putting things in the lightning round.
Yeah, the guy-
Emp's a good dude. We follow each other on Twitter and we're subscribed to each other. He's a good dude.
yeah, go buy his toy,
good
y'all. His
NASCAR
toy
fan.
looks really cool. He has
Yeah.
his own toy out now.
Yeah, buy enough so that when he's sued by Disney for it, nothing will happen to him.
Yeah. Please.
We talked about this, we talked about this a little bit. Dale Jr. Is not ruled out now, taking JRM to Cup. Cindric will be running the Verizon car at Richmond, according to Penske Racing. Sports Clips is letting fans nominate Darlington throwbacks. There's some really good designs of old Denny Hamlin throwbacks.
I'm a big fan of Noah Sweet's design already.
Yeah,
The
I like
2011, 2012 throwback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one too.
2011 through 2013, I think they even used that.
There was another concept of his old Busch Series car that Eric Almirola got kicked out of. So Eric, please boot him.
Sad day.
I've seen someone else that said, don't ever talk about this car. Don't talk about anything it stands for.
Just dump him if they end up running that. Oh.
Well, a couple more things here. Daniel Suarez versus iRacing has become a meme. Daniel Suarez basically said stick to video game or he'll stick to real racing. That video
Stick
game.
to
Just
video
lashed
game.
out for no reason, man.
He's pissed.
Stick to video games. This is real racing.
Yeah, this is real racing.
Thought you could throw the car at the camera.
I thought that was pretty good, and the memes that came from it were great. Kevin Harvick's car will have a QR code on it as part of a promotion for Hunt
Smart.
Brothers Pizza. I love this. It's a new way to not move the numbers, but still engage with your audience.
That's how you engage. There you go.
Yeah.
I like. We should have a QR code on the numbers that only can be on the middle of the door, and you just scan that or something. Like
There you
just
go.
incentivize middle car door numbers.
Yeah.
There's just a big QR code on the side. You scan it, and like the car number just shows up on your phone.
I may not have a QR code for pizza, but I do have a discount code of Papa John's saying to be 25.
Remember in 2018 for the finale, we had that Snapchat code? That was interesting. That was an interesting time.
Jennifer Jo Cobb will be running the
Yes!
Rick Ware Racing number 15 car at Talladega in the Cup race.
Jennifer Jo Cobb in the
so
Cup Series. Been
I'm
waiting
here
this
for
one.
it.
Let's go.
I love it.
We'll
Let's
have
go.
rookie straps and everything.
Let's go.
And
man.
then final bit of lightning round. We really did run through this one really quick. Goodyear will be set to sponsor the race at Darlington. That is the throwback race. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is also like the first race or like major series race they've sponsored on American soil.
And they will have a special throwback tire design as well. So that'll be interesting.
Because this is a throwback race, they're just taking all the really old throw it back Goodyear tires that are trash and they're going to race on those.
Oh, Tony Stewart's gonna have a field day with that when they all explode. Then because he's gonna, he never holds back against them.
And that's it. That's a lightning round. Darian, blow out our ears.
And that will conclude the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast.
Hopefully
And now, back to the show.
Hopefully we did that so fast that we bought Eric some time. I know we took forever on everything else. So.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I'm looking at the clock. No, I'm not.
Gotta speed it up. Gotta speed it up.
No, yeah, we're our pace is fantastic right now, and this is a perfect time to thank our other NASCAR Weekly Podcast sponsor. Oh, I just nailed the microphone with my hat. That's okay. Oh, this
Very
hat doesn't really match my
professional
outfit.
stream.
But Forney
Oh.
Industries, what's up, Danny?
I was gonna say if you happen to break your microphone by doing that, maybe you can get some tools from Forney.
Yeah.
Honestly,
there
I
you
might need to. This metal arm mic I need needs to be repaired. So Forney offers, I mean, this might be kind of heavy duty for this little arm mic, but they offer full line welding machines and metalworking accessories, perfect for do-it-yourselfers, perfect for UFO Bluetooth speakers as Jared's playing with. I didn't even see that on your desk until just now, Jared. I didn't realize it was just barely on camera.
Oh yeah, UFO's here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Hey, really quick, Eric. This screw fell out of my microphone a couple of days ago. Please send some Forney tools for me to screw it back in. Thank you.
I think that'd be pretty intense. But Forney has everything you need for your next project. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, if you're a professional metal worker, any of that type of stuff, Forney equipment is hardcore. You can shop all of their top-of-the-line products at forneyInd.com. Forney, IND. I spell it out for y'all every single week, or at an authorized Forney dealer near you. Check them out. Forney, big supporters of the Out of the Groove Podcast Network and the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Now, on that note,
we're big Forney fans, guys. Big Forney guys here.
Hashtag horny for Forney.
That's no gosh.
You went there. You went there.
I went there.
Well, I want to thank everybody. Before we get into the final, really the second half of the show, but it'll probably be shorter than the first half, we do have to thank all of these super chats that we've gotten, and we'll see what the chat has been talking about over the last hour and a half. First up was from Groovy Goose. Thank you. Any untapped U.S. markets NASCAR should get into?
Ooh.
U.S. markets, correct?
Yes.
Louisiana. There's nothing there.
Yeah, Louisiana.
Are there racing fans there? That's the thing. There's got to be.
Yeah.
It's
tough.
it's in the South, isn't it?
Louisiana, Texas,
it's
kind of their own thing.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So
that's a tough one.
I'd say also Portland too. They need to go up to
the Northwest.
Yeah.
That's a really cool.
Or
racetrack.
Seattle, or somewhere.
Yeah.
A lot of racing fans.
It seems some people say Maine, and Maine is actually a really big state up, as I found out.
It is or isn't?
It is. There's actually a lot more people there than I thought there was. And I think if there was a facility there, it'd be a great one, but there needs to be a facility there.
Yeah, first and foremost, got to break ground on something. Irvin sent in $10. Thank you, Irvin. Watkins Glen NASCAR weekend will be a go because starting April 23rd in New York, Motorsports will have 20% outdoor and indoors 10% for horse racings. For those in the Northeast and upstate New York fans, welcome. So, yeah, it sounds like there are going to be fans. It feels like now every track is going to at least allow some percentage of fans going forward, so that's really good news. GN, thank you. If you don't think Vortex is real after Saturday night, I don't know what to tell you. It isn't a coincidence. The rain poured under yellow. Yeah, that was pretty, Cody Ware took out Davison, and then within seconds it was
See, he even
sloppy.
ruined that. What are you doing, Cody? Come on.
No, I didn't mean to throw Cody under the bus again. Oh gosh. Nicholas Gray, thank you. Been a NASCAR fan a long time, but I started wondering why night races were on Saturday nights and not Sunday nights like Sunday Night Football has. Usually I think NASCAR runs on Saturday nights to avoid conflict with something major. Like I know in the past they would run like the Busch Clash on a Saturday night because the NBA All-Star game was Sunday night. In this case, the Masters was Sunday afternoon, so they wanted to race on Saturday night. I feel like that's usually the case. The only Sunday night races usually are like the Coke 600, but that's because it's a 3-day weekend.
And the Southern 500's been Sunday night. But too, like, if you're actually, for the people actually there, like at a race, if you're going to a night race, you don't want to have to like haul ass back home so you can get back to your
work and all
your
that
job
stuff.
And stuff.
Yeah, that's probably the main reason. Then thank you, Ryan Moore. He says Blaney is this era's Casey Kane.
Kane
Kane won like 5 races or what? In like his second year.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean,
Casey was winning a little bit more early on. I think.
Yeah, Casey Kane won 6 races in 2006 and then had the sophomore slump in 2005 and the most unluckiest rookie season in 2004. So honestly, Casey Kane's career, I really can't compare it to anybody else's.
Career was one and just
now if we can just see Ryan Blaney do a Allstate commercial where a bunch of ladies are like obsessed with him,
he would fit that role. He would fit that role. I think he'd fit that.
They both are like kind of the teenage heartthrob guys,
basically.
So I get it from that perspective, but not like a on track perspective.
Yeah.
Thank you, James Pallister, for the super chat. The repeat incidents with Chastain and Ware got me thinking about an FIA penalty system. 1 point causing a wreck, and 12 combined equals an automatic suspension for 1 race. I don't see NASCAR, being so being so diplomatic about it. I feel like they just sort of in the moment say, "Hey, that was aggressive. You're out." They'll decide in a moment to like to park
Yeah, it's
Norm
not-
Bennig 1 week, and then the next week they'll let him run well under the.
It's not
the
a very
minimum speed.
complicated process. Basically, they're just like, "Oh, you were being aggressive. Okay, fined or suspended."
Yeah, they kind of just make it up as they go along. We kind of have to just get used to it. The other White Castle, thank you. Not gonna lie, I'm a bit bummed we finally had a repeat winner. He was like in the
Yeah,
the diversity
kinda.
at first.
It had to happen. It had to happen eventually.
Because it was kind of cool that we were like going to be like 8 races in, 8 winners, only 8 playoff spots remaining, and like, you know.
So
The
right now,
headlines were already
2000 holds the record for 10 straight different winners to start the season. So.
Dustin Thatcher, thank you. Expectations for Sunday. We will get to our picks and such in just a short while. It's probably going to be fun. We know it's probably not going to rain, so that's a plus.
Don't say anything.
It's
I'm
going to
saying
storm
it.
now, Eric.
I'm
It is a
saying
thunderstorm. I hear it already.
Bruce, thank you for the $5. Rodney Childers claims NASCAR's new rule enforcement hurts Stewart-Haas Racing more than others. Is this a warning shot by NASCAR over SRX Racing and Eldora? I've heard Rodney Childers talk about
No.
I don't think so.
there's a change in the left rear clearance or something is the main thing that they are taking a closer look at this year. So that just might have been one area that SHR was exploiting last year that other teams hadn't figured out. So
Yeah, but NASCAR's not trying to screw Stewart for.
I doubt it.
No,
Yeah.
come on. That would be very petty if that were.
If anyone would do that, it'd be Goodyear. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Josh Berry, Lawn Care and Bird Feeders. Thank you for the $10. I love this super chat. I laughed when he sent it. Jarrett is a lean, mean, hairy American winning machine. He wakes up every morning and pisses excellence. Sleep is for the weak. If you ain't first, you're last.
Well, thank you.
That's in the Super Chat Hall of Fame right there. PTM Billy, thank you as well. Very generous. People had the same complaints, talking about Nashville Fairgrounds, about the soccer stadium, and it took a while for that deal to get done. I get that we have a track in Lebanon, but the fairgrounds is a better track. Yeah, I think NASCAR and SLI, they really want the fairgrounds. It's just,
And even then,
make it happen.
I've talked to some people with Nashville Super Speedway, and they actually seem like they're pretty okay with a second track. They actually talk like they would want to see them both succeed, honestly.
That's good. That's good. That's good to hear.
And I think I think absolutely Fairgrounds would succeed. I think if it existed, that might hurt the Super Speedway, but I think they can coexist, at least at first. Philip Richards, thank you. Five Flag Speedway is across the street from a huge residential area, also next to a graveyard. That's in Pensacola, right?
Pensacola, Florida.
That's an interesting difference there. Ave 10, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but thank you. What will it take for Dodge to come back to NASCAR with the next gen cars?
They're not coming back.
I just
bro.
don't think
Just
Dodge
give it
has
up.
enough money.
They need to be a better company.
Yeah,
Like they just need to they need people to buy their cars first.
Sell
That
them.
That is a management thing right there. The only thing I know with Dodge and Chrysler, I think is saving them is Jeeps and the Ram trucks. They seem the most popular.
Yeah,
I could see Ram coming back to, or not, come into the truck series. That might be.
Does
a
anybody
possibility.
remember the old Dodge commercials that would play during the NASCAR races, like hit it, da 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 da, like from the early 2000s? Nobody remembers.
Wait, sing it
those?
again.
No.
I might have picked it up.
What?
At the end of every Dodge commercial, they would always go hit it, da 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 da, like something like that.
Music to my ears. No, I don't know. what that is.
Somebody in the chat knows what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
about 15 minutes later on Twitter, we're going to see someone find us.
Somebody will find it.
Josh Berry Lawn Care sent another one. Should have made the Lightning Round. Quick Trip will be the sponsor for the Road America race. I missed that news. Good for Road America landing a title sponsor. That's big.
Nice.
Carter Hansen sent in a $5 super chat. Appreciate the support. And then we had one more from Groovy Goose. To be eco-friendly, NASCAR could use nuclear engines.
Whoa! So when they hit the wall, they just explode. The whole car explodes.
They just decimate the city.
Oh gosh, he's heading for the wall. Everybody get down!
Oh, get them! Dude, Daytona, Florida would be done then at
You're-
500.
You remember that explosion Brad had at Daytona?
No, that's
Oh,
we need to. We have a delay. We need to decontaminate all the pit area.
yeah.
all the NASCAR officials in hazmat suits, but they still have sponsor logos on
The
them.
drivers get superpowers because all the nuclear waste goes
Yeah,
everywhere.
Rick Carroll Racing would be the team to have a nuclear reaction in their garage
And-
stall.
Instead of the caution lights coming on, you just hear.
Like, oh, that was another NASCAR wreck.
Oh my gosh. NASCAR during the nuclear fallout. I wonder what that would look like. All right. Well,
Beautiful.
appreciate those.
I'm in tears. We need to get off that.
I
Dude, this is
appreciate
funny.
those super chats, guys. If any more come in, we will get to them at the very end of the show. We have just a couple more stories quickly to hit on before we give you all our Richmond picks. Those are going to be exciting. I'm excited to look at the points this week for once. I'm actually excited to look at our host points. We'll get to that in a minute.
I bet you are.
I'm pissed. I'm so pissed, dude. I should be in third right now.
I'm happy.
We'll get to just a
I
moment.
bet you guys are. Yeah, I bet you are.
Well, first
Freaking
off,
Hamlin.
reported a few days ago by Adam Stern, Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin are eyeing a $9 to $16 million investment for a new 2311 racing facility that could hold up to 2 or 3 race teams. That's a pretty big deal. I know they've been talking about wanting to expand quickly. We hit on it earlier a little bit about how the charter system could get in their way. But, guys, what do you think of this? It sounds like 2311 is going to be a 2-car team next year, Darian.
This is huge, especially for Toyota, because for years we've been saying, dude, you guys have so many drivers in the pipeline, but not enough Cup Series seats. What's the deal with that? And finally, this team comes along, a single car team for the moment that could expand to 2 to 3 cars. In a perfect world, Carl Edwards would take the second 23XI in a perfect world, and then Lewis Hamilton would take the third. But no,
Fantasy world.
yeah, in a fantasy world, basically my world, pretty much. But no. In all reality, though, I really think once they do add these teams, it'll be more of a fixture for the younger guys moving up the ladder. It's like, hey. No rides available here at JGR, but 23XI has something open, so
Did you just say 23XI?
Oh, I did! No!
You said it 2 times, Darian.
I said it
I
2
didn't hear it the
times?
first time. I was
Yeah.
tuned
No,
out.
Yeah, it was
no.
twice.
I said 2311 the whole time. No, I said
didn't.
2311.
No, you
We'll go in and
I
edit
said it
that.
the whole
It
time.
happened.
Just
Three
edit it out.
times.
Edit it
Yeah,
out.
it's okay. We're
But
not live.
He's gonna be like, you're gonna hear it on like the Spotify version of the show, and you're just gonna hear him go, the 2311 car.
Just add it in post. But
It's not like
but
Mr. Plinkett.
in conclusion, though, more Toyotas equals a better Cup Series program because simply there's finally more seats available.
Yeah, and for drivers, they have a lot of good drivers coming up through their ranks. They got John Hunter Nemechek in their program now with KBM. Harrison Burton's coming off a 4-win season. You got veterans like
Ty Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs, of course, is coming up through there too. He'll be in Cup probably in the next few years. But you got veterans like Daniel Hemrick and Ty Dillon also in your system as well. If any of those ever work out as well. So I
Please, Carl
Yeah.
Edwards, come back.
Yeah,
Carl
it's-
Edwards, please
it's
come
not-
back.
it's
You'll
not
have
good, no.
you'll have
Yeah, I don't see it.
you'll have some pretty
I love it, but
you'll have some pretty good free agent opportunities with Matt Benedetto and a few others too.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking, because you mentioned, it'll be good for the young guys. Like, that's great and everything, but I think they really could use a more established guy who's preferably had more success than Matt Benedetto has had, but at least someone who's more established and has run up front, who's made the playoffs. You can keep going with the young drivers, and they're cheap, they're affordable, and some of them will turn out to be great. But for them, in the meantime, still a new growing team. It'd be nice it would be nice if Carl Edwards came back and was able to anchor that program for a couple of years.
I would love to see Eric Jones return to the Toyota program in that capacity.
If he can still have Smithfield backing Eric Almirola even with 2 wins isn't a bad option.
Yeah, no, definitely not. This is just a lame duck year for him, unfortunately. He's usually a very consistent driver, Eric Almirola is, so that makes perfect sense. But yeah, as far as the younger guys, Harrison Burton, Ty Gibbs, they obviously come to mind. Any other outsiders that are preferably on the come up right now? No. Nobody in particular.
I'd just be curious to know what number they run. Will it be the 32? Will it be the 45? That's what I'd want to know.
I would say 32.
They could take 33 from Penske.
Yeah, that's what they use in their the iRacing series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say 32 for the second team, the third car. They should go with the 45 there.
I think they should take 33 away from Penske since they're not going to be using it.
Why though? Why do they
33
take...
and 23? man.
33, 6 6 rings, so it's perfect.
Jordan.
Yeah.
And if they ever get a third car, take 45.
Yeah.
And then they take the 43 and it becomes an issue.
I get the 91 for Rodman.
And then the fourth car is the 69 Toyota. Kevin LePage. He's gonna LePage the field in that route.
What number did Scottie Pippen? He was 33, right?
33.
Yeah, he was
All right,
33.
so we're just crafting the whole Chicago Bulls team here. Is what we're
Of course, man.
Yeah, of course.
All right, great.
And then get the 91. Get Dennis Rodman to a race. I would love to see
Man,
him in a race.
that would be amazing.
That would be awesome. Dude.
He'd probably invite Kim Jong Un, and it'd just be a whole hubbub.
Carmen Electra, everybody.
We get right at the top of the news.
For some reason, I can just imagine him at the race and FaceTiming Kim Jong Un somehow. Look
at this.
Just imagine American diplomat with North Korea, Dennis Rodman attends NASCAR race.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
The next headline: new NASCAR exhibition race in Asia going to North Korea.
No.
Well, you know how like in the NASCAR app you can go and watch people's like in-car cameras and stuff. They need to have Dennis Rodman comes to a race. They need to have a live stream on him just the entire time.
We'll be live streaming it.
Like,
We'll
you
do
know,
that.
Just,
We'll do
yeah.
that.
just have him wear like a chest mount with a selfie stick and a
GoPro.
GoPro just pointed at his face the entire time.
Yeah.
Drunk
And-
cam.
Oh,
He'll
God.
probably he'd probably show up in women's lingerie. Probably that's his thing.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat's bringing it back to the nuclear powered cars conversation. All right.
Oh,
Well,
man.
2030.
Moving on from 2311 racing, our last big story that we have to talk about is actually one that was revealed this morning. I know I woke up with a big old smile on my face when I saw this, but CBS revealed the announcer lineup for the Superstar Racing Experience. Lindsey Zarniak, Alan Bestwick, Brad Doherty, Matt Yoakum, and then a driver analyst that will be featured 2 races each: Danica Patrick, James Hinchcliffe, Dario Franchitti. If you ask me, this is where the true superstars are. Like I'm Tony Stewart and Bill Elliott, they're great, but like
I'm
Alan
more excited
Bestwick,
about the commentating
He's
team,
back.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back.
The
And
motorsports-
Alan Bestwick. Finally, he's back, dude.
The
After
real
all
AB.
these years. Yeah, the real AB is back. Alan Bestwick,
But-
yes.
I'll tell you what, CBS would not be doing this if they didn't have something bigger down the pipeline. I think they would just pull some people from the NFL broadcasts that are like their C-listers.
Yeah, they could
Like-
have done that. They got a full-on crew that they know has experiences. Like, I'm happy for Matt Yoakum because I was disappointed to hear that he got let go in the first place.
Man.
Well, and I'm just saying, man, it's like NASCAR CBS 2025. Well, I'm not going to say whether I think it'll happen or not, but I will say that I think CBS is going to really put in a lot of bidding.
There'll be a player.
They're looking
And-
at it for sure.
And God help all of us YouTubers that use even the smallest little shred of video.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Evil
yeah.
Viacom.
No, I'm good. CBS, you don't get it.
Don't worry. We'll talk to some people. We'll be all right.
We'll talk. What does CBS own? Viacom own? Do they own Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon.
We'll get SpongeBob on
Yeah.
the horn. He'll sort everything out. We're fine.
We'll get
Let's-
Aang. We'll get Aang and Zuko.
Let's get Tom Kenny on the weekly podcast to talk racing in SpongeBob voice.
Yeah. Why not?
GN
But,
leaves a super chat saying you can't spell Bestwick without best and W. So that about sums it up.
Yeah, smart.
And also,
But, dude,
you also have to use ick is in there as well. Was discussed. So that's not really.
Yeah.
I just thought of this. So I think people were talking, jokingly talking about this idea when they had NFL on Nickelodeon. What if they eventually do a race coverage on Nickelodeon?
You know what that means? You know what that means, Darian?
What?
NASCAR
What does it mean?
Carly crossover.
Let's go! I know. Yeah, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. But no, NASCAR on CBS in 2025. It's starting to look really, really good. And if they do, you better sign Alan Bestwick as the lead commentator for the NASCAR races as well, CBS. If you are really serious about this, please.
Well, you got to think this is not going to be a second half of the year signing more than likely. With the new NFL contract, CBS is still locked into the end of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want CBS Sports Network or Nickelodeon to air every NASCAR race like in the playoffs, I mean, Fox would have to budge. And then you have to look if, Fox has seemingly been putting, money back into their broadcast, putting a lot more effort back into it compared
The
to
Daytona
years prior.
500. The Daytona 500 is Fox Sports baby when it comes to motorsports. So they're not going to give that up. I don't think.
What I'm saying is if Fox wants to stay in this and CBS wants to stay in this and
There has to be a
NBC
compromise.
seems to want to stay in this, I mean, changing it's been proven before that changing networks during the season just has, I mean, there's going to be a drop in ratings just because some people don't pay attention to that. And I think, adding another one in would be really difficult for TV ratings and probably after that streaming ratings. Because I think by the end of that next contract, that's going to be more prevalent. I just have to think NASCAR, they have to choose really wisely because this contract, I think, really more than any of the others before of the last 3 major contracts, I think this one has more importance for the longevity of the sport. I mean, if they screw up this one going into the digital era, you're going to see a racing cultural shift in America if they get it right or wrong, depending on what race fans watch more of. So, I mean, we joke about it a bit and we think how cool it is, but I mean, I think this is just another brick in a big building or wall or castle, whatever you want to
it's still developing.
make.
Still developing.
Is another major, cornerstone of what we're going to be seeing in the next couple of years.
Not trying to toot anyone on this panel's on horns or anything, but there's a reason that we all have thousands of subscribers and people watch our stuff because NASCAR fans are trending in a digital age now. So
yeah, straight up.
Yeah. It's going to be an important. I mean, I think we need to watch, if not for the great racing alone. Knock on wood. I think that we need to watch this because I mean this could be NASCAR coverage in a couple of years or the rough draft at least.
And you have to look at IndyCar situation too. They're looking for a new TV deal next year actually. So hey, that might affect NASCAR's decision. Perhaps we'll see.
It'll be interesting to see where IndyCar goes with that for sure.
Yeah.
CBS owns Paramount Plus, and we saw their huge ad campaign during the Super Bowl. So NASCAR streaming, that could be a home for certain NASCAR content as well. Just keeping that in mind, things are going to change. But certainly, lots of reasons now, to watch the SRX, not just for the drivers. There's some exciting drivers in there as well. Some exciting.
You get to hear Alan Bestwick's voice again. That is
so good.
Oh, that is.
He's called races already for pretty much everyone in the field, I think. So he's already done his homework. He's a perfect man for the job.
Just curious. There's only 6 SRX races. Any of you guys going to one? I'm going to Nashville. So
I'll probably be at Nashville. I'm planning on trying to make it to that.
I have to see at least one in person. I have to see one of these races in person.
I'd like to. We'll see if scheduling it works out, but I'd like to. Well, on that note, folks, we have somehow made it through all of the stories tonight. We still have a little bit of time before our normal 2-hour cutoff to go over Richmond. So Richmond is this Sunday afternoon for the NASCAR Cup Series, and Xfinity's taking the year off from Richmond. It's the trucks, the Camping World Trucks racing on Saturday. So y'all know how we usually do this. I forgot I have a little graphic for race picks. Wow, that's cool. Nice. So we'll start with the Truck Series race, I suppose. I'm not sure. Are there any? I don't know if there are any Cup Series regulars in it.
Really quick.
You just skipped everything else. Went straight to race picks.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you gotta say the info. Yeah.
Well, I want to let people know we're back on Fox this week for Cup, MRN for radio, Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Truck Series is on FS1 and MRN. Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. No night racing for the spring Richmond race.
No.
Weather? Saturday, 67, periods of sun, 20% chance of rain. So not the worst we've had or could have.
Bring a hoodie, probably. Might be a little chilly.
Yeah.
Same goes for Sunday. It's looking pretty good. As for the news with COVID and stuff like that, about a quarter of Virginians have been vaccinated, 40%. So if you're wondering about that, limited capacity attendance. COVID cases are kind of a little up, but I mean, compared to other states, is actually doing quite well. But I mean, we're doing better with this race than we were last year.
Yeah,
I'll just say that
for sure.
But yeah, so it's smart. But sorry about barging in on the race.
That's cool. People need to know where the race is at. Of course, it being on Fox, back on network television, that's big. But now we can start with the Truck Series race Saturday afternoon. As you said.
Sorry.
Wait. What's the points? The points, Eric. The points.
Yeah. See now, Eric, you're tooting your horn a little bit.
I just want to get to the
points
picks. All right. What are the points?
Danny's leading, He's got
Yay.
113. The chat's in second still, -3. Eric is in third, -6. I'm tied with Eric, but since Eric picked the cup winner last week, because
I got a
damn,
big
you
boost.
good. You good? He beats me in the tiebreaker, so I went from first to fourth. Darian -10 in fifth. And then Tyler, you're gonna be in a bit of a hole for the guest pick here. Guests are down 22 points in last.
You gotta
so,
turn
Freaking Hamlin.
Oh,
no pressure.
Freaking Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin should have sent Truex Jr. to the moon, and I would have been higher up in points. What a shame.
Oh my.
Should have traded him like Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say. I was about to say.
Nice.
Awesome. Oh man.
All right, can we go to the Truck Series picks now?
Third time's a charm. We can.
Jeez
Yeah.
Louise. All right. I've had the little graphic on screen this whole time, and we've done everything but make race picks. So
Any Cup Series regulars in the truck race? Though?
I don't
No.
think
saw.
so. No.
All right.
Oh wait, Kyle Busch.
Oh,
Is he?
You sure?
Yep, he's starting 12th.
I thought I looked at the entry list. Let me double
Hold
check.
on. Yeah,
He
let-
is
let me
starting.
look at the
He is
entry.
starting 12th in the 51.
oh, well, there we
Oh,
go.
he is. How did I miss that? Well,
Well,
yep.
Damn.
dang, that changes my pick a little bit. No, it does not. I'm sticking. I'm leading off because I've been so antsy, trying to jump the gun here. All the chat. Already write this down, Jarrett. The entire chat is going with
yeah,
KFB.
they pick KFB.
But
already,
hey,
yeah.
last year at Richmond, it was the Thor Sports Show. I believe they swept the top 3 positions. I'm going with 2-time winner this year, Ben Rhodes. I don't really like Ben Rhodes, but now at least if he wins, at least I can take pride in the fact that I know I picked him. So
I thought you were gonna say Johnny Sauter. Like what?
Oh,
Well, I'll go,
no.
I'll go
Oh, God,
next
no.
because I don't actually have to say really too much because my race pick for the truck series is also Ben Rhodes because he's starting from the pole and I think that he's
He's got that track position.
got track position. He's been running fast. I think he's gonna give old KFB a bit of a run for his money.
Hey, listen, man. We all know the deal. KFB's here. You know he's gonna do his thing. So KFB for me. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's gonna do his thing. And at Richmond too. Oh yeah, KFB.
Ben Rhodes is gonna wreck him on accident.
Better not.
See it.
I swear.
You know what? I'm actually gonna go with Austin Hill. I think it's time for him to get a win this season.
Austin Hill.
Okay. Hey, he's
He
all right.
starts second, right behind your boy Rhodes. So
Yeah. They take each other out in the first turn.
and then Kyle Busch goes and wins.
Yeah, it goes on. Wins.
Let's see. I think I'm going to pick Kyle Busch as well.
Yeah, there you go.
I just knowing the position that the guest pick is in.
Gotta go with the safe bet,
I
right?
got to go with the safe bet. That's the smart play, I think here.
Yeah.
All right, can't fault you for that one. All right, well, there you go. Those are our picks for the Camping World Truck Series race at Richmond. Now we talk about the Cup Series race on Sunday. Of course, we have 3 different picks. We begin with our Who's Gonna Suck pick. I'll admit, I didn't really give this one that much thought. The easy choice would just be to go with one of the SHR drivers, not named Kevin Harvick, because he'll probably still drag his car into the top 10, even if it's terrible. He could be in a go-kart out there, and we'll find a way to finish on the lead lap. So
Talent.
I won't take that easy option. I'll go with another driver who was mentioned earlier by the chat who struggled a bit more than, maybe a tiny bit more than I expected this year, but I'll go with Ross Chastain.
Go ahead.
I'm next.
Oh, I know. Sorry about that.
I'm gonna take the easy one. I'm just gonna go Eric Almirola till he proves me wrong.
I'm next, right? I'm good. All right, I'm next.
Yeah.
Next. All right, Tyler Reddick. I mean, he's just been so disappointing. I mean, the sophomore slump has caught up to him. I mean, Jarrett picked him to win Homestead, finishes P2, and then has basically disappeared the rest of the year. Tyler Reddick.
2 bad weeks in a row. It ain't looking good for my guy Bowman. I'm gonna put him to suck at Richmond.
Oh no, Danny's lost hope. He's lost all
This is so
hope.
sad to see.
Aw.
Tyler, how about you?
Let's see. I think I'm going to pick Matt DiBenedetto. I think, gosh, it hurts me to say that, but
It's true. Damn.
I
you see how
mean-
it goes sometimes.
yeah, I think that'll be my pick.
Looking at the chat, I saw a lot of Almirolas.
Cody Ware. I see
Now-
Cody Ware,
now
of
I'm
A lot
course.
of Blaney.
Now I'm seeing Blaney and Cody Ware.
Yeah. Oh,
Coach,
yeah.
let's not take that low of hanging.
Yeah,
fruit.
yeah. Come on.
Why Blaney? Blaney's
I
had ran so
see-
well last week.
I see some Almirolas mixed in there.
Yeah, I would
Remember, if
Yeah.
you pick Blaney in the chat, you can't make your suck pick your win pick. So just
Yeah.
saying, it's taking a pretty notable driver
Oh wait,
off the board.
isn't Blaney's track
Well-
record in the Cup
well,
Series at Richmond not the best though?
Remember last year when I swore up and down he was going out the first round? It was because of all those tracks in that first round, Richmond being one of them.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Someone said Dennis Rodman. Okay. See, got the Bulls stuck in their minds now, Jerry. I see.
Good
Yeah,
Bulls.
I see a lot of Blaney and Almirola from my perspective, and now a lot of Blaney's.
Well,
And
let's just make every pick different for this one and do Blaney.
yeah,
Alright.
Blaney.
So we all
yeah,
pick different people for each one of the suck picks.
And there's a Theodore fleet.
Of course.
On
Of
cue.
course.
All right. Well, moving on now to our underdog pick or our dark horse pick, however you want to phrase it. I'll kick things off. I'm going with Austin Dillon. This was, early in the playoffs last year. He ran top 5. He had showed all that speed. He hasn't shown that kind of speed to start this season, but he ran pretty well at Martinsville last week. Did he end up with the top 10? Because he ran there for a lot of the race until he had he had that penalty. He had that 1 lap penalty for pitting outside the box, still drove back to finish like 14th on the lead lap. So I'm going with Austin Dillon as my dark horse.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and skip my turn because I'm
too.
also agreeing with
Wow.
Eric and going with Austin
I
Dillon.
didn't realize
Yeah, I
it
am
was
too.
such a consensus.
I'm really curious to see how Trackhouse Racing is going to be able to respond. They had the top 5 at Dirt Bristol, then struggled at Martinsville, got into some trouble. Let's see how they respond this weekend. Daniel Suarez.
I gotta say the Austin Dillon pick's pretty sounds really good, but I think this is the week we see 2311 maybe start to show some finish. I think
A top 10 finally.
Yeah, I think we'll see a top 10 out of them this week. They had speed at Phoenix, kind of a similar track, just
had
not the track
speed.
position.
They had speed at Bristol too.
Yeah, had speed at Bristol. They honestly last weekend I felt like they had
laps.
they led laps. If track position is so important, but I think this week they'll work their way up there and get a good finish.
Hopefully.
I like that pick. The chat is unclear. I saw a lot of Dillons at first. Now it's kind of a mix.
I see Newman's name.
Oh yeah, I just realized. Yeah,
Benedetto.
I just realized. Yeah, Austin Cindric is racing too. That's another good. I'm curious to see his performance this weekend.
Okay,
true.
now I'm starting to see some Bubbas and some Dillons in there.
Yeah, I see I don't
Okay.
see one person in particular.
Alright.
They
I
have
don't
Bell.
see.
All right, I'm starting to see a
Maybe.
lot more Austin Dillon. Even one guy said Ace's dad.
Yeah.
I've seen a few more of those. A couple for Christopher Bell as well. I'll throw a few of his in there, but I think they're leaning towards Dillon.
Yeah, I see more Dillons now. So that's what it's looking like.
I'm going Austin Dillon on that one.
Somebody said
Austin
Pawn
Dillon.
Stars. Somebody said Pawn Stars. I go,
Austin Dillon.
Let me
That's
call
it.
my buddy who's an expert.
All right, so you got that down, Jarrett. We'll move on now to the most important category, of course. What is this,
Oh.
Darian?
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win at Richmond?
You made another very good face there, but I'm too lazy to screenshot and add it to my background this week. so you
Somebody will
escaped
do
it.
that. Somebody will do that shortly.
All right, so who's
Just-
going to win?
If someone does a shocking win pick, have the shocking Darian face on the green screen.
Yeah, Cody, where? Just kidding. It
Well,
could rain.
I don't really have a strong reason for this pick other than he's just generally been fast at every race this year. He's been good at this track in the past. Kind of the same thing with my truck pick. I don't really want Ben Rhodes to win, but now if he does, at least I have those points. I'm like feeling good about my pick. Same thing goes for Cup. I'm not rooting for Joey Logano, but I think he has a really good chance of winning, so he is my pick.
I am so glad that you picked somebody different than I was picking.
Good, good.
Because the 2 of the last 3 you have. I'm going with Truex. But not just because he's he just won. I mean, it's part of the reason. It's a pretty big reason. But just him and James Small are clicking right now. I mean, even in post race, they were going the way they go back and forth, a little banter between them.
Oh yeah, he's Australian. He's Australian.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's very entertaining there. But those two just mesh, man. They are fitting in really well. I think year 2, we were talking about a sophomore slump for like guys like Reddick, for instance. I don't see a sophomore slump for Small being on top of the box. Man, this is he's going to do pretty well, I think. I mean, he's finished first and second in the last two Richmond races.
Yeah.
And I think that keeps going, man. I think that keeps going. Truex has only gotten better at short tracks, and I have no reason whatsoever to see why, unless something happens to him, which is very possible, why he can't be a top 2 car once again.
All right, listen here, dude. All right, you had Dirt Bristol. You didn't man up in the final 2 laps, okay? Then Martinsville, you got beaten it once again. Didn't even finish in second either. So my points, unfortunately, are on the downswing. But Denny, third time's a charm. Please win this race. Okay, you are like ahead of the cut line by what was it? 145, 146
194.
Nearly 200, and you still don't have a win yet? Denny, come on. Man up in the final 2 laps and get that first win of 2021. Come on now. 194 points above the cut line, and you still don't have a win. Denny Hamlin, I swear. There's that face. There's that face right there. But no,
how shocked you were to hear how many points Denny Hamlin has.
I was so pissed.
I think he has the same shirt on too.
No, that's a different. That's not like you said.
No, that's different.
But no, I was so pissed in the chat after the race because Hamlin was leading that entire freaking thing, it seemed like. And then the final 30 laps, he loses it. And then who else picked Chase Elliott? Wasn't it who else picked? Somebody picked Chase Elliott though. So I got third place points, unfortunately, because the other 2 pick points finished ahead of me.
I picked Chase Elliott last week.
Yeah,
Our
so
picks last week went 1, 2, 3, 4, 33rd.
Sorry,
Sorry, who was the guest last week? That was Michael's fault.
Yeah, he was 4th. He was 4th. I picked Brad Keselowski, and everything went wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
mind.
in conclusion, Denny Hamlin, please get that first win. It's annoying.
My pick has got 1 win here in the past and arguably worse equipment, and it'll be his 2nd win of the year. Kyle Larson is my pick to win at Richmond.
Larson.
Lawson.
Because I think I had him to suck at Martinsville last week, and he did a lot better than I thought he would.
Yeah, he's in the Hendrick stable now, so he's got all those notes.
All right. I think I'm going to pick Chase Elliott. Starting third, I think he's going to be fast this weekend. I feel good about that one.
He's been close. Like this last week, he finally didn't have anything go wrong, and he was, in contention at the end.
Yeah. He's been knocking on the door, and he's I think this is his weekend.
Yeah.
Now, the chat, I have seen a big mixture of MTJ and Larson in here.
Let's see. I see Derek Cope, Kim Jong-un, Jennifer Joe Cobb.
Get funky on a Friday night. I like that comment. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I like it.
Robbie Gordon. Okay, all right. Let's pick some real drivers.
Pick Robbie Gordon. I dare y'all.
I saw iCarly, Dan's moms.
Dance Mom too.
Dance Mom.
Is that show even still on? My mom used to watch that show all the time. That
James
fat
Small,
lady would always yell at the kids.
I'm gonna count James Small as MTJ. So
I'm seeing some more Kyle Bushes.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Kyle Bushes. I think it's between him and Truex right now. Well, as I say that, I see 3 for Byron. Where do these come from?
Joe Biden, Joe Mama, and the Iceberg.
I saw Brad Coleman. He got one.
That's big.
Hey,
I mean,
they're saying Kyle Busch sweeps the weekend somewhere. I'm surprised too. I mean, Kyle Busch, he's so low in the standings compared to his standards.
Why don't y'all ever make this easy for us?
Dave Marcus. I just love, and for the winners picks, they always pick the most random guys too.
I'm seeing more Byron
Logan
and
Paul.
Kyle Busch now.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of. I think I'm seeing a lot of Kyle Bushes.
Do we want to make just again, seeing how it's very even? We'll just make every single one of our picks different and give them Kyle Busch or Kyle Busch or Byron is a different pick.
Let's give him Kyle Busch. I'm sorry to say Kyle Busch.
Let's give him an option. Kyle Busch and William Byron. Those are those are the ones that have been coming up the most.
Okay, if you want Kyle Busch to make it easier instead of names mixed in, do 18 or do 24.
Yeah, 18 or 24.
Now we wait for the lull.
Yeah.
Yep. Should only be a few seconds.
Let's see. I see.
Y'all read any good books lately?
Oh, this is oh jeez. Jeez.
Wow.
What?
I'm saying more
Whoa.
eight. I'm saying more 18.
Yeah.
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 Jeez. That chat just blew up.
Yeah, it's gone.
I see 69 mixed in there too.
Yeah, I saw a
Of
couple
course. Of course. Yep. Gotta give him Kyle Busch. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Give him KFB.
Looking at this for our Cup suck picks and Cup win picks, we have chosen. Everyone has chosen a unique driver for each of those.
That's
so
big.
basically, for the Cup picks, like there's probably going to be a wide change points wise with a lot of it this weekend because
Yes.
there's no one tying with the same pick.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's
you have the truck win picks, and it's Hill, Kyle Busch, Rhodes. That's it.
Yeah.
So
All right.
All right.
Well, good
That's it.
picks. That's basically going to do it for this episode. We have a couple final super chats to read through really quick. From Josh Berry Lawn Care again. On the nuclear engine idea, Denny hits the wall in California. The San Bernardino Strait gives way and California becomes an island.
Oh no.
I think I've seen a movie or two about that. Then we had a couple from GN. You had the one about spelling Bestwick without Best and W. And then when I joked about Ick, he replied, "Okay, Eric, Ick stands for Incredible Caring King."
incredible, charismatic king.
Hey, charismatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh
there
my
you go.
God. And then the last one.
Incredibly conniving Karens in Nashville.
Why has Karen got to ruin everything, Danny? Why has it got to ruin it?
And then the final one, thank you, Brandon, for the very generous $10 super chat. I lifted, ran, showered, played Car X, and you've been live for all of it. Thanks, guys. Well, thanks for
nice.
for letting us be a part of
Oh.
your evening.
Damn, he's working out and listening to us. Okay.
Okay,
Good,
so
man.
now that we know that, next week we just need to go run faster.
Run! Keep pushing,
And
keep
I'll
pushing.
spin the UFO since no one asked.
Oh, that's right.
There we go.
No. Oh, we got
go.
one.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
one
and
guy
you just
asked.
got a super chat.
Yeah, just got a
go.
super
That's
chat.
just in
asking it.
time, clutch.
Spin
Thank
the
you.
saucer.
Thank you, Josh Berry Lawn Care and Bird Feeders.
That's a name.
Tyler, you're working on a project right before we head
Oh.
out. You're working on something big,
Oh,
aren't you?
well, okay. So I just retweeted it actually not too long ago. But Echo Park is doing a giveaway, a really nice giveaway for some tickets to the Coda race. They're going to fly you there. They're going to get you a nice hotel. It's going to be beautiful. So, go to my Twitter at Tyler Stooksbury, and there you can find a link to get signed up. Highly recommend you do that. I'll be there. I'm filming. I'm working. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Well,
Sweet.
I'll be I'm working for Echo Park that weekend, so
That's cool.
it'll be a fun time.
Big time. Sweet deal. Yeah, definitely enter that because if you win, if you get to go, you might see Tyler, you might see me, you might see Jarrett. I always forget. Darian, are you going to be there?
yeah,
Coda?
he's staying in my
Yeah.
home. Yeah, he's staying in my hotel with me.
Oh my gosh, that's
be
how
there.
very
Yeah.
how very cost efficient of you guys.
You guys are eligible to enter the contest as well. So.
Can I get a refund of my tickets?
Yeah. I'm so confident I'm gonna win. I just throw my tickets away.
Right. We got more super chats.
Oh, it's
Awesome
sweet
stuff.
tickets, by the way.
Oh,
Important for
big.
Saturday and Sunday. I forgot about that.
That's big. I want tickets to let me go up on the tower up there. I've been up there before. They've got like part of it that's like a glass floor, and like you got cars
yeah.
racing right beneath you.
It tower.
Yeah.
That's right.
They need a suite up there. Now that
They
would
do.
be that would
Yeah.
be
One couple final super chats. Thank you, Timothy's random stuff. Hello. Hope you've had a good night. And then Josh Berry again. Yes, Darian, it is a name. Look at my profile picture. Very unprofessional. He's got the Josh Berry.
That's
iconic.
perfect. That's a beautiful
it's beautiful.
profile
Great
picture.
stuff. Well, thank you so much, Tyler, for joining us for over 2 hours. You're on YouTube, Tight In, Loose Off. Is there any other places that you'd like to shout out? Any other places that people can find you?
Yeah, my Twitter's probably the main one, at Tyler Stooksbury. I tweet a little bit here and there, so go check that out. And then I'm probably more active on my cat's Instagram account than I am my own. So
Aw.
follow Ralph Stooksbury. It's named after Ralph Earnhart. So
Oh,
he's a fun
nice.
time, and he's a tuxedo cat. So he's got he's got the GM or the Goodwrench fire suit kind of thing going on. So it's really nice.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome. Well, and then next week for the NASCAR Weekly podcast, we will be on, he's doing a little dance over there. We'll be on Jarrett's channel, The Iceberg. We'll be live on, is it Wednesday or, yeah, we'll be live
Yeah.
Wednesday, just after the iRacing
Wednesday,
event.
April 21st. Yeah, after iRacing, 9 p.m. Eastern, an hour later than we usually start. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Time. And at least at the moment, we'll have to make, sure that everything is good. But Tony Breidinger is at least slated for now to be able to come onto the show. So be sure to watch, see her on. And I think it's going to be a really fun show.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. And I know tonight was a very, very fun show. Thank you everyone in the chat for hanging out with us. Thank you guys for chiming in, adding to the conversation, adding to the content. I had a lot of fun. Thank you everyone for being here. Jarrett, do you have the Dale call to kind of play us out as is per tradition?
Call.
All right. And I listened back last week, and while it didn't sound good to everybody in the Zoom call, it actually sounded really good for the outro from where I was at. So
all right.
I'll get it out right now.
I love that shirt, by the way. I didn't realize you were wearing that shirt. That's
cool.
I
got this at Martinsville in 2015.
Oh, that is sharp. Nice.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was that one. All right.
Hell yeah.
Here we go.
Hit us with it.
I'm going back here, so don't blow out the mic.
Okay.
Go all the way back.
It says Dale on the back of the shirt. My God. That is a NASCAR shirt right there.
All right,
ready?
Absolutely. Go for it.
That's pretty good.
That's perfect.
I heard it pretty good.
Perfect.
Bye, everyone.
Right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Have a great rest
See
of
you
your
guys.
night. See y'all next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.